Hello, everybody. Ian's sitting in the dark. His internet's not very good, so we don't get to look at his lovely face.
He's pondering his collecting life.
At the moment. But welcome to OFAC100, everyone. We've made it. Yay!
Yay! 100.
Congratulations!
Keeping it 100.
How's it? Yay! How's everyone doing tonight?
Doing good. Doing good.
Very warm. Very, very warm.
Yeah. It's sticky. Sticky here.
Very much so.
But yeah, no. So thanks Lane, thanks Thomas for joining us. We're hoping to have some more guests join us shortly. So we'll look forward to seeing them. We've made it in. Congratulations, mate. It's been emotional. It's been a journey.
It's been an interesting one, considering I thought, we'll give this a go for a bit, maybe do a couple of weeks, see what it's like.
Yeah.
Was that years later?
4 years almost to the day. Yeah.
4 years, we're still fucking about. So
I really feel like we should have "You're the Best Around" playing from Karate Kid right now. Like in the background. as we
nice.
If we were able to put up what do you call that? A montage of you guys on different shows.
It'd be great, but just the work involved would be astronomical. I think I'd love to have done. I'd love to have done a show reel. It would have been really good, but.
And to be fair, I only really pop up on this one. I'm so antisocial. It would just be me going, "Yeah, I'm on this one." And that's it.
Wading through 250 hours of show,
Shane.
Good evening, Shane. Welcome.
Classic Thomas.
Welcome to the party.
Doing good, sir.
No, not at all, mate. Not at all. No. No worries. Glad to have you here.
Sir, good to see you.
Good to see all of you too, guys. Thanks.
Great, Andre.
All right, so we just run through the chat. We've got Toy Mafia, Yomo. Congrats on 100, guys. Alvin J. What's up, everyone? Congrats on episode 100. Still a bunch of cants, though. It's good. It's good. It's I never quite thought we'd be here. We've had a few ups and downs. Not me and Ian, but network things. There was a point after 50 where I was like, maybe we could have a break. But it's I think it's addictive. You come back to it. The hobby's changed a lot, and we'll talk about that a bit later. But still enjoying it. Still enjoy chatting about it. And I think there's more and more of you guys kind of coming online and joining the community, so it keeps it fresh, and it's nice to have some different people to chat to on the shows. So Toy Mafia is Yo Lane Kramer and SpongeBob.
Wait a minute. If that's
so
I have to be passive.
So we had the big 3,000 collecting weekly finally hit the 3,000 subscriber mark. And Tuesday night they did the giveaway for the Hot Toys Carnage. So that was great to see that. So we're really proud of everyone for the push to 3,000. Hopefully the next 1,000 won't feel like quite a struggle. But it's good. It's steady. It's steady progress, and it's about keeping those people, I suppose, as much as grabbing them in the first place. So congratulations, everyone. You're all part of that. You all played your part in that, and it's brilliant to see. It's brilliant to see. So and then we have our very own giveaway on this show, live on this show, courtesy of the wonderful Lane Kramer. As you see on your screens now, he's very generously donated this SH Figure Arts Carnage from Venom Let There Be Carnage. So we will be doing a live competition about halfway through the show. So once we've got through the new releases and the coming soon, we'll put the questions out. There'll be 3 multiple choice questions, 4 options on each. Basically, while we start our kind of discussion, I'm going to ask everyone to look out. Well, not everyone, because I can't divulge. Maybe I'll put it in the private chat. The three letters that you need to win it, and as soon as somebody gets the first person that gets the right three choices will win the prize. Okay, so it might take 10 seconds, it might take a little while. It's not difficult. We just wanted something nice and easy that we could kind of deal with on the show. So I will tell the boys what the correct combination of answers is, and I'll make sure I put it in the private chat and not in the and then they can all be looking out once it goes live. So here we are. Private chat. Yeah. Okay, so the boys have got those now.
So you want me to cut and
we got
paste this into the comments?
Oh yeah. If you don't mind, yeah. We got Danny Lee, Keith Dingaling.
This is where you just go share screen.
We got 13 watching. So obviously I assume that Lane, the figure resides with you in Texas. So if it's an American winner, then obviously that makes it easier. But obviously we will take care of any international postage if it's somebody from overseas, from the States wins it. So yep, all get involved. It's going to be good. It'll be it'd be good. So shall we jump into new releases? And we have the Inart Gandalf. Who'd like to talk about this one first? I think it's turned out great, and I'm really looking forward to getting my one. Anyone else come in? Yeah,
I love it, but $4.50 they can get in the bin. I'm just not spending $4.50, but I love it. It's
I've kind of forgotten how much I've paid for it, to be honest.
Yeah. Did you see someone posted the other day about Asmus sending out new head sculpts for theirs, and they looked worse than the first lot they sent out. But they all looked like Ian McKellen. None of them looked like awful. You could tell who they were, but this was by far heads and shoulders above the rest.
Oh wow!
Thank you, Ryan.
Chat there, mate. Ryan Smith, £10. Congratulations on 100 episodes, guys. Thanks for the content. Thank you for being here every show, Ryan. You're a great supporter of the show, and very active member of the community. So thank you very much. With that £10
donation, Pete can actually afford his chlamydia medication. So thank you very, very much. That's
in fairness, that joke deserves a clap.
It's like, just for £2 a month, Pete can be clean of chlamydia.
I asked you to keep that private.
We can all see you itching.
You're keeping it private.
Sorry.
Well, I will say
Ian
for
Stevie,
this that... No, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, go on, Lane. Yeah. No, I was just going to read Ian. Congrats, Ian, Pete. Really proud of you. You've kept going through thick and thin and kept me going. That's nice to hear, mate. Thank you. Yes, Lane, go ahead. Beyond just Pete, is it any of the rest of us on the panel who's actually picking this up? I'm not, unfortunately, because the price point was too high for me to consider it. I just love the beard. I think the beard is the part that catches my attention the most from this. I really think they nailed that part. I know it's maybe a little bit shorter in comparison to other people. Yeah.
I don't always get quite caught up in as much of the detail and stuff about this. I'm like, I look at it just from here. Does it make me think of the movie character? Yeah. So it would meet my criteria for it. I think it looks great. I love the staff. I think they did a nice job with it. What is the work you have to do post picking it? Like, Pete, you're going to get it. I would like to hear 3 months from, 3 months after you've gotten it.
Yeah.
What work have you had to do to maintain all the hair that's on it? You know, that's any time for anything that's rooted hair. But
yeah, I've got my little pot of beard oil ready. So on El Profesoro's recommendation, beard balm. It is beard balm. So I'll be having a go with some of that. See what happens there. Yeah. Thomas, you Lord of the Rings fan?
You know, I like it, and I've seen it. I wouldn't say that I'm not the type of fan like most people out there. I'm not hardcore, but I can recognize a beautiful piece of art when I see it, and this is absolutely gorgeous. I mean, the workmanship, the paint, the sculpting, this is absolutely beautiful. And you know, I'm not really. I don't think the price point is actually too far off considering what we're getting. I mean, I'm the one. I actually bought the 2-pack rooted Joker, and that was, you know, what, like $1,000 or so. So, you know, if I were a true diehard fan, then I would get this. Now, of course, I say that saying that when they produced the Legolas, that I would get that because I actually like elves, and I like that character.
Yeah. I'm hoping they do. I'm looking forward to Legolas as well. Yeah.
And so of course I'm not I guess maybe I'm just a partial hypocrite, but I don't know enough about the property. I just know what I like when I see it, and having an elf in there, I said, well, you know, I could actually do something else. I mean, I don't necessarily feel like I have to be committed to saying this is Lord of the Rings, even though people would recognize it, but I might just have some sort of little fantasy background that just has him as an elf shooting something with his arrows. So, but yeah, this is fantastic.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to Legolas because I want to see how they do his braided hair. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, it amazes me what they can do today.
Yeah. And I think, like yourself, come to you in a minute, Shane. You also bought the Joker 2-pack, and that for me was really critical in me pre-ordering this. So I didn't pre-order it early. I waited until the Joker came out because I wanted to. I had faith in art, but obviously, you know, until you get that first product out and you see whether they've managed to deliver on what they promised, you know, that was enough for me to say, yeah, I think they're capable. And I was lucky that I was pre-ordering the Aragorn and 1/6 kit, put the pre-order back up for Gandalf. So I thought, well, as I'm definitely getting Aragorn, I'll be in for Gandalf now, and I'll be in for Legolas. I might stop there. I can't see myself paying for all the hobbits and stuff because that's going to get silly, but you know, definitely Legolas, because I think they can really nail his hair with all the braiding and everything. So yeah, Gandalf looks great. Shane, I know you're a big fan of the Jokers, and I asked you whether or not, you know, I think at the time that whether you felt that I'd be happy with the quality of Gandalf based on, you know, what they did with the Joker, and I think you reassured me that I probably wouldn't be disappointed.
Yeah, I think that's a fair point. Like, I'm happy with the Jokers, but I think this is stunning, and I think Joao, Big Brother, has said that this is actually better, a better figure than say the Joker. This is one of these dangerous figures for me because I'm a fair weather Lord of the Rings fan. I can put on a trilogy any day of the week and enjoy it. I think that's a sign of a great movie. No matter what mood you're in, you can put it on and enjoy it. Like a good rock album or whatever, no matter what mood you're in, you can enjoy it. And this, I can watch this anytime and enjoy it. But it's a dangerous figure because I know I like it. I could justify it to myself. But like, I'm just the type of collector. I need to rule out entire lines so I can focus on what's important because I'm never going to have everything. Like, I need to be extremely selective and. But it's the type of thing I could wake up and go, you know what? I want it. You know what I mean? And then it opens up a can of worms. So at the moment, I'm like, no. But it does look stunning. My God, like, I mean, I'm happy for all the Lord of the Rings fans out there who.
Shane knows with Lord of the Rings, if you get the Gandalf, and then before you know it, you got the Fellowship. All the members of the Fellowship.
You're like, I mean,
and then they're like, hey, here comes Gandalf the White. and you're like, well, I got the gray. I got to have all his forms. Well, now it's like $540 for it.
That's
they include
literally
the
the slippery
Shadowfax
slope.
deluxe edition that's like $1,000.
Yeah.
And then you're like, well, here come the hobbits marching in, or here comes Saruman.
Yeah.
And
Next thing I'm
about
rolling into Elvish
$4,000
lessons.
later, like, well, I don't know if I made the best decision here.
Yeah. Because the Aragorn nearly got me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm surprised
I
that's
came
the
close
one.
because
Yeah,
it was just like, is this a movie image? And like, if I was getting the Gandalf, Elaine's right. If I got the Gandalf, I'd have to get the Aragorn. And then Gimli, I could probably stop at a Gimli and a Legolas.
Yeah,
and, I could probably do without the hobbits, but I can't start in this. It's just, it looks stunning.
So like, then they got Saruman out, or they do a Witch King, and you're just like, oh no, like, I gotta have something for the Fellowship to fight.
Yeah,
pose it up and fight, and you're doomed.
I think they'll be slow enough anyway that we'll have years and years to to pay for them, and as long as you're not going for every in-art figure, and I know some people are, but for me, at the moment it will only be the Lord of the Rings, so I don't mind if there's one a year. I can justify the 400, 450 if it's one figure a year, and things like the Witch King and stuff. Yeah, it'd be great, but to me, 90% of what I'm paying for here is this rooted head sculpt. The clothing is probably nice, but it's not going to be twice as nice as the Asmus stuff. But it's the head sculpt that sells this, and something that's just got an armored head, I wouldn't pay that sort of money for it. There's cheaper options, but
a lot of the Asmus stuff will fit in perfectly fine with this.
Yeah,
a lot of the bad guy kind of all armored, you don't see.
Yeah,
them. Yeah,
they've just got some pretty ropey head sculpts. That is their problem.
But if you're going for
and the one you would
the race and stuff like that, you don't really need. Doesn't need.
No.
Like the mouth of Sauron.
When you talk about that,
you don't really need much for that.
The Sauron, mouth of Sauron. Yeah, he's cool. Yeah. I mean, Asmus did a great job on that, and I don't think you'd need anything else. When you talk about the Asmus head, is that the one where they're using the Gandalf the White sculpt and putting the grey hair on? Because they said they were going to do that.
I think so.
If I'm honest, talking about.
I wasn't that interested. I was flicking through Facebook, and someone said, Asmus sent me out my new sculpt, and it looked...
I didn't realise they were actually doing it.
But it just looked
weird.
Weird.
Quite funny when you see people trying to say that Asmus, the Gandalf the White, it was an okay figure. Putting it side by side with this and saying it's a better likeness, you're kidding yourself there. This could be nearly twice the price, but you can see why. I got a lot of Asmus stuff, and I think for what it is, what the price is, I'm happy with it. But this is just something else. So, and then we also got hot on its heels, Pennywise. I don't know if anyone's got him yet, but he's imminent. If not, has anyone seen any unboxings or anything yet? Has anyone actually got him in hand? No. But I think this week
definitely more terrifying. If you're looking for a complete 180 of Gandalf and look and style to figure, wow, you got it here.
Yeah, this one is absolutely frightening.
It's bloody fantastic as well.
It is. Yes.
It's really, really good, but I don't know anyone who loves the remake of it that much that they're going to spend 460 quid on it.
Oh, Will falsification.
Well, yeah, Will is capping it though.
Like, that's one person.
His fan that I know. I mean, he's got a life-size bust of Pennywise.
Yeah. But I just don't know that many people who are going to drop that sort of money on it. That's not taking anything away from me. It's a fantastic figure. Right. It looks really good. And that's the thing with like my general thing with Inart is if it's something you absolutely love, you're gonna go for it.
Yeah.
But when they select stuff like this, you think, okay, the Hot Toys one wasn't overly popular because they've got that's effectively their canary down the mine shaft, isn't it? They know how popular it is because of how many people bought one of those.
Yeah.
Which now you see them pop up and people grab them pretty cheap. But unless Inart do something I'm absolutely head over heels in love with, like a license I'm absolutely balls deep in, it just ain't going to happen. And I kind of look at it and go, okay, it's fantastic. It scares the shit out of anyone who comes into your house. But 462 quid, you kind of go, and it's a bit insulting that it's 62 and not 60 as well. But
that's just conversions. That's
fucking conversions.
It's a great thing. I've got the Hot Toys one, and I love that, and it's great. And I have no doubt that this is better, but it's a lot more niche than Gandalf. I think you've got your hardcore horror collectors. You've got the people that are setting out to buy every Inart release because of the quality and to have that as like a master collection. But I think the demand for this has got to be less than Gandalf, and obviously much less than Joker. So I'd be interested to see how many of these that they actually get orders for,
and how much better is it? If I had the Hot Toys Pennywise, I'd probably be going, oh yeah, no, that's really nice, really good, but you kind of go, well, I've already got one.
Yeah. What I said on Ben Thomas' show is actually, if you've got the Hot Toys one, this makes this a better purchase because then you can use both head sculpts. You can use one on the. I mean, I know the connection. You'd have to do a bit of jiggery pokery with the connection because it's magnetic, but that can't be that difficult.
Magnets,
and then you can display. Yeah, you can display both options. So I think that would be great because there's probably not going to be a lot of difference in the outfits. Yeah, the Inart's probably better quality, better sewing, better tailoring, but probably not, massively. And I think to have the two together, and the Hot Toys base is brilliant with the sewer and the and all that sort of stuff. So,
but then this one also, this one with the stage is actually really quite interesting also. So, it would make it. I think it would make sense if you're a really true fan, and
that's what I think.
You get the benefit of both bases, which can depict different sides of Pennywise, and also, I mean, I have to admit, there is something very special about, because I saw the head itself. They had a picture of the head where you could actually see the hair, and the way they did that hairline is, I mean, it makes him come to life. Literally, it's stunning. I mean, the hair rooting is stunning, and that sculpt is completely frightening. I mean, it really is. This one right here with the grinning in the middle. I don't know if I would want to put that on display because I would be afraid that it will come to life and get me while I'm asleep. I mean, is that crazy? But
and it's got the movable eyes as well, which the Hot Toys didn't have. And for that, particularly for the sculpt with the teeth, that's perfect. You've got to have those eyes because that's all part of the look. What do you think, Shane? Picking this one up?
No, but it's kind of. I think Ian said it best there. It's like, I'm reserving Inart for the figures that I'm like, oh man, I really like this IP. So like their first release was obviously it was perfect for me because I'd sold a long old MMS 68 or something like that, which was definitely starting to age next to my collection, and so it was just perfect timing really, because at the time I was expecting the Hot Toys 3.0, with this. I'm actually in the process of reading the book. I mentioned this in the stream. I'm desperate. I'd like pick up one book, like fiction, and another book, a science book, and whatever. And I like read 3 or 4 books at one time. But I could read a few chapters of one and then not read it again for a year and then pick it up. Like I'll finish it, but that's just how I read sporadically. Like, but I'm reading the books, and I did actually enjoy the 2 movies. Like, I think they were groundbreaking. But I did enjoy the 2 of them. I liked it was just 2 done. And I'll rewatch them. Probably every Halloween now because I bought them. I don't think it'll fit in the collection.
Appreciate them more with more watches. I think.
I don't think though this would fit in. I think it would look really out of place in the collection. And maybe that's kind of a cool thing, but I kind of toyed with the idea of going, I get it and be a Halloween decoration. That's a very
a lot of people
expensive Halloween.
It's very.
I just don't like the
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I could justify the mantis for a Christmas decoration quicker than this for a Halloween decoration. But yeah, look, it looks good.
Yeah, Halloween's
yeah
kind of big,
comes
strange. And goes in a few days, whereas obviously with a Christmas one, you can get a good couple of months out of that.
Yeah.
What do you say about the tailoring? What do you think?
I think from what I remember with the prototype, the tailoring was just a little bit more tighter around the shoulders and the collar.
Right.
I think with this, he kind of looks like he's on the roids a little bit. It makes the head look a bit smaller. If you know, it does look a little small. I think that's a fair constructive criticism.
Yeah,
a fair criticism.
So actually, and it does look a bit better.
Yeah. Now it could be a bit. Maybe it's just these photos. And again, futzing. You know, I think futzing. They're really the only community that use the word futzing. But I had seen other photos of it, and it looked better. But no, it does look really, really good. The quality's there.
Yeah, I think I'll keep my fingers crossed that somebody gets it, doesn't want it, and sells it off at a reasonable price, and then I could think about it, because then I've obviously got the hot toys, so I could have both, and I think that would work really well. But I certainly won't be buying it at £462. No.
Yeah, but I also think that for Inart, I think that this particular company, at least for me, is when you want something very special.
Yeah.
Like Hot Toys would be like, hey, if I'm looking for a figure and I just want the representation, the price point is at a point where I don't feel any discomfort in purchasing it.
Mm-hmm.
But when I do the Inart, I really feel like I want that to be something very special, or something or something that I'm not going to get anywhere else. Like, if Inart puts out any kind of Catwoman, I'm on top of it, because I love Catwoman. And I've been itching particularly for the one from the Pattinson Batman. I need Zoe Kravitz in my collection, so I'm hoping they make that. To me, that's a special piece that I'm not going to find anywhere. So I think that for me, Inart, because of the detail, is not something that is mass produced. So you're going to get a very special product, and so I kind of feel like I would reserve, my purchases from them for the things I really find to be that special, unique thing that I just need in my collection. Kind of like something I might even want to display alone. Say it's so special, you get your own little spot here, or the other ones I might actually group up a little bit.
Yeah, it's I think you're right. I think because I won't be looking to replace the Gandalf in my Fellowship scene, because that's all Asmus or custom, and that works together. This one's going to be a standalone piece. I'll probably have him out on the coffee table, and I'll spend more time kind of looking at him and more detail. Obviously, when Aragorn comes along, then it starts to become a more of a collection and less of a one-off piece. But I think, as a perspective, if they bring Legolas out, I think I will just keep them as a like a master collection of those things. And I really, really, really wanted to order the Harry Potter, but I only wanted the rooted one, and obviously then that came with the whole diorama, and I think it was like £600, and I couldn't justify that, particularly for such a tiny figure as well. I know size doesn't matter, but yeah.
That was a lot for that figure, though, man. That was a lot for that Harry Potter.
Yeah, it's a shame because
license and other stuff too.
Yeah, and that's like with putting him behind that paywall, I think was a little bit disappointing. I'm just having a look at that Gandalf the Grey. It doesn't look very grey. It's very white. It's not that much difference from the it's just all they've done is just ragged up the hair and the beard rather than it being smooth. So yeah, that's not great. And he's still got his beach suntan. So yeah, That's not great.
I love
yeah,
the
so then we
monster
move
grin.
into yeah, it's cool. Right, and then we're into Hot Toys. Come on, Ian, I'll let you take this one. You're the Boba Fett guy here.
Oh yeah, this one I you know, it's been on wait list for a while and everything. The Book of Boba Fett. Whenever I try and say that, I get too much boba in my boba. I am super excited for this figure. I think this is the definitive Disney modern Boba Fett. Does that mean it's the definitive Boba Fett? No. But I think, you know, just as the center picture here has it, there's a distinct difference in like the coloration versus the repainted Boba and the Book of Boba one. The helmet's different. I know some people in some of the reviews have shown like the gauntlet actually have been sculpted and are different. The jetpack, the colorations on it are different. It's completely new jetpack.
It looks taller as well. It sticks up higher on his head. Yeah.
I know the disappointment with this figure is no head sculpt. You know, that's really the quarter scale version of this one has it.
Yeah.
Which is maybe the best Morrison head sculpt they've done of all like 500 of them. I just think this one, like Ian was mentioning, I think if you have one of the earlier two, like there are three distinctive things with this figure. I think this one is the overall best looking one. But if like your favorite scene with modern Boba Fett, that's bird poop, look out, stormtroopers, I'm coming for you, Boba Fett.
Yeah.
You know, that's when he had actually his most kick-ass moments, is, you know, he annihilated all those stormtroopers.
Yes, yeah, it's it's great to see that picture in the middle. Actually, it's a nice comparison. Do you own the other two, Lane?
I've owned the repaint Boba Fett with the throne, but I ended up selling
the throne. That's right.
Yeah, that was the big thing for that one. That has the throne option with it, which obviously for any one of these Bobas or putting with Fennec Shan, like there's a lot of things. That one's $390 US, so that's obviously more expensive. That's I think I like the Book of Boba one best because I didn't like the extra Tuscan robe stuff hanging off on the front. It really bothered me the more I had the figure. And the Book of Boba is like the perfect thing for me. You can, I've seen in some reviews, attach the head sculpt for the Book of, I think either one of them, because they're pretty much the same head sculpt, just cleaned up a little bit. Either one of those can be attached to the Book of Boba body. So I'm probably going to try and get one of those eventually separately. I really like this one with the attachment feature for the gaffy stick. You can attach it, stick it on, but the big thing to me is the jetpack and how you can. It's got the magnets, but you can then hook it in and lock it in place. So like it's once it's locked, it doesn't move. I think there's a lot of pluses to it. I don't know how much it is quid because it was $275 US. So I think the price point.
What have we got on the price? We've got $260.
Okay, yeah. So the translation for dollar to pound, that sounds about right.
$330, $350.
I think the negative, like this is supposed to pose everything. It looks pretty good with it. I guess the big thing is if one of you guys like own one of the other Boba Fetts and everything, if you already own one of the first two of modern Boba Fett, like I just think the original trilogy Boba and then modern Boba. If you own one of these other two modern Bobas, I don't really see a point of buying the Book of Boba one. And you know, if you're more OT fan something, then you know, I would tell you Empire 40th or Return of the Jedi ones, even though they're a little bit older in design and look, or I guess maybe even if you hadn't gotten it or trying to track it down because it has become a little bit more manageable price wise. The arena suit one, the total black one, that's another really good option.
Yeah, I think it's a shame that that's such a great head sculpt, whether it be the original acid scarred one or the post back to tank one. It's a real shame that they're not shipping it with more of these figures, I think, because it is one of the best head sculpts they've put out in recent years, I think. And to only include it in is it just the just the 2-pack figure? Is it? Is the only one, or did the
2-pack and basically both the deluxe versions? You have to buy one of those. Or
okay, so the one with the throne came with the head as well.
Yeah,
like again, so it's putting it behind a paywall, isn't it? It's and I mean, Shane's got the 2-pack, haven't you? So the with the Tuscan robes as well, and I think you can pick that up for. I've seen that go for 200 now, for the pair. So it's not too bad an option, to actually get if you want that head sculpt. Obviously, it kind of wipes out one of the figures, but
you want to send one to me.
Oh, right, okay. But then again, obviously that's the scarred up one. And if you want the clean one, you need the one from the throne. So it's quite difficult. And obviously, you can pick them up on the secondary market, but people are charging a premium for them.
I looked; they were going for $140, $150 for the throne bow.
Yeah. I was going to say 100 quid. So yeah, about the same. Ian, you've got the bird poo one. Are you looking to pick this guy up?
I've got the bird poo one. I've got the one in the middle. No.
Oh, okay. You got the Mando, the repaint. Yeah, repaint one.
Yeah, I've got the repaint one. To be honest, they're so similar, and I quite like the Tuscan robe bit of it, so I'm okay with it. To be fair, I don't, and I picked up a knockoff sculpt for it that I painted up, so I'm happy as a pig in shit. I don't really feel the need to upgrade just to have a pair of like 90s Nike trousers on a Boba Fett.
Yeah.
So,
I'm good. Ribbed for his pleasure.
Yeah. They remind me of a pair. Do you remember those popper trousers everyone used to wear with the poppers down the side?
Yeah.
They remind me of a pair of them. But
classy.
But yeah, I'm good. And that's the thing at the moment. I'm kind of looking at what I've got and going, okay, I could upgrade, but would it be an upgrade? Or am I just chasing the latest thing?
Yeah, that's the thing.
If I sell my Boba and I go, okay, I'd have to put, say, 60, 70 quid towards this. Is it 60, 70 quid better?
No.
And at the same time, when I look at the stuff it's got, like gaffy sticks and shit like that, I think, some pricks will be parting them out. It's going to happen. So if I wanted to, I could pick one up at a later date. I've got loads of bright green fucking paint. I can paint it bright green if I want and give it a sand down. Like, I just think I'm trying to be a little bit better with how I collect and a little bit more selective. And and like Lane said before, if you've got any of the other ones, it just doesn't feel like it's enough of an upgrade. So I'm good with what I've got for the time being. But if you haven't got a Boba and you want a modern version, it is a very nice figure. So if you haven't got one, it's good. But I'll stick with what I've got for now. Yeah.
So Thomas, we know you're not a massive Star Wars fan, so I assume that you're not picking this guy up.
No, I'm not. Oh, by the way, Lane, when you had your little pinky in your mouth, you were kind of giving off some Dr. Evil vibes right over there. I just want to let you know I noticed.
Love it.
How about no?
I'll take 1 billion space credits.
But yeah, I mean, I like the way this looks, but I actually have I think the one I have is the Sideshow Boba Fett, and I like it just fine. So,
is it the Legends or the prototype, the white one?
I'm not sure. It's it has a round base. It looks like graded.
It's the scum and villainy one. Yeah, it's got the best. Okay. It's got the light up base, like the
I think that's what. Yeah.
So and that's an awesome Boba Fett. Even compared to the Hot Toys ones.
So I really like that one. Yeah. So I don't think that I personally. Well, I don't know enough about the characters to see any significant difference in the costuming. So I said, well, the one I have, I think suits my needs. I mean, I liked Boba Fett in the original trilogy, and I recognized his character, so I was happy to have him as a part of my the little small part of my collection that has Star Wars figures. But I don't think I really need this. I am planning to go and watch some of the TV shows like the Boba Fett series. I mean, the Mandalorian and Boba Fett and things like that.
Yeah.
But I don't think that I will be necessarily persuaded to have to purchase multiple figures for him. Because for me, I'm kind of like, well, I have one figure, and even though it's not representing a particular appearance of him in a movie or a television series, it still is representing Boba Fett for me in my collection.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's pretty much all I need. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Shane, I know you've got the 2-pack, so I assume you won't be picking this guy up. Are you kind of like myself? I think that if I was going to have one of these three, I would have the one on the left there, because I think that was when he was like at his best, when that scene where he took down the stormtroopers and stuff like that. And I was a little bit underwhelmed with him in subsequent episodes of Mando and Book of Boba. So how do you see it?
Lane kind of laid it out. Like I have an original trilogy on Empire Strikes Back, because I was always going to have an Empire Strikes Back one. So
that's the one. Yeah.
But the thing is, the post Sarlacc pit acid damage one, like, that is my favorite one, because I'm a sucker for weathering and battle damage. But I suppose that's just all because of the personal preference, subjectivity. A lot of Boba Fett's are kind of like Iron Man's and Vader's. I've never seen one that I didn't like. Do you know? So like what's on the screen now, the latest one, the Book of Boba Fett, and the quarter scale one, they're stunning. Like they're all cool. Like you can't really go wrong. Like But I suppose again, like even with Iron Man, I have to pick the ones I really really like. So I think I've got all the Boba Fetts that I want.
I would push back against Ian just a little bit between the repaint and this one, the Book of Boba. There are some very distinct differences between these two. If you've seen them as some of the reviews that have put, like,
not 80 quid's worth of difference.
The jetpack is completely different, and like there are a pretty good amount of difference between those two figures specifically. So I would
I know what you mean. If you had a pitch with all three of them in the middle, you'd be hard pushed to say they all look exactly the same.
There's a lot of new sculpting and new stuff that was done for this figure, but it plays more with, there is a lot of new stuff that they did for that figure. Why didn't they include a head sculpt, even if it was an older one? It's
a shame.
If you push that one to, like, I don't know what, it was $275. If you did it $295 or even $300, you don't think people would have bought it? I think more people would buy it.
Oh, easily. Yeah, definitely. Absolutely.
Plus, he was running around in the show 90% of the time with his helmet off.
True. Yeah.
The Boba Fett we saw in Mandalorian, and then the Boba Fett we got in the show, they were like two different people. Like.
Yeah. That's why I'd want the acid scarred one, because to me he was kicking some ass in that, and then after that he just got a bit drippy. I think he wasn't quite the Boba Fett I remember. But then again, he was it was a very small bit part in the original trilogy, as cool as he was. So there's not a lot to go on really. So I suppose they had to go somewhere.
We had 30 years of building him up in our heads, and then
exactly.
He absolutely kicked ass when he got his armor back, and then did fuck all. So it's never.
We wanted a lot more consideration that we were talking about in Empire Strikes Back. That's what
it's never going to live up to 30 years of hype.
The post credit scene, though, I felt they did like such a good job bringing him back in the Mandalorian, and like everything he did. Like think about it, half those stormtroopers he took out with a stick. And then he got the armor back and it was game over. And then he took out the two ships and then played a role in the rest of the season. But the kind of the post credit scene in the finale when he goes in, just goes, "Yeah, this is mine now," and just the two of them wreck the gaff. You're like, "Oh, that show is going to be epic," and then it was just.
Yeah, and it's like,
why did all these?
Everybody craps on it now, but I was like, I remember for like a year, more, whatever was how long it was between that end credits scene for seeing Boba sitting on the throne and everything with Fennec, and then like everybody talked about Luke, but almost I think as many people were talking about Boba Fett.
Yeah.
Like sitting there and the build up for every, and like you pointed out, Shane, sometimes for the build, or Pete, the build up for the character in our fans' heads about how cool this character is. And obviously George Lucas didn't think he was necessarily that important for how he took him out and Return the Jedi, or something.
Yeah.
But I think we build up that show in our brains. And also, I forget who was the director, who was the showrunner for that one.
I think that was Robert Rodriguez.
He did like a Desperado and stuff.
Robert Rodriguez, no?
Yeah, he was the showrunner. So he's done a lot of cool action stuff. And we got glitter punks on moped.
That's where it lost me.
So
yeah,
now
Quadrophenia in space. Yeah,
there's a lot of people involved, and they spent. I'm sure they spent $100 million or more on it.
Yeah,
there was. There's always, and sorry, I don't want to carry on too much. We're on to C3. We're on to an original trilogy / sequel. Original George.
Well, we need to mention that our guest of honor has arrived. Eddie Money Mendez. Ooh. Welcome, Eddie. Nice to see you, mate.
Thanks, Eddie.
How's it going?
Thanks for having me, guys. Sorry I'm so late.
No worries.
I was trying to rush back from work to be here with you guys.
We have got plenty of show left, mate. No worries at all.
All right, sounds good.
I just want to say hello
we'll
to
let you go
Eddie
first.
Because it's been a long time since I've been on a stream with him.
Yeah, what's up, Lane? Thomas,
hey,
Shane?
Good to see you. Well, I have been watching you. You've been popping up more. It's good to see you. But anyway, I know we got a lot more. So we got a lot more figures to go through this afternoon.
Yeah. So we were talking about, we've been quite lucky over the years where some new releases hit on kind of the morning of our show, and we got one today. One that I've got on pre-order and was kind of getting a little bit concerned as to what was happening with him, because the two figures that were announced alongside him, the Attack of the Clones Geonosis battle droid and R2-D2, came out quite a while ago. So this is the Attack of the Clones C-3PO, and he released today. And as much as I'm not a massive fan of the look, I did order him because I kind of I got tired of waiting for an original trilogy version and thought that I'd pick this guy up and I'd never go at repainting him. Obviously, since then we've had the Return of the Jedi one, which I've also got on pre-order, so I won't be doing anything with this guy. But I'm very interested to have him in hand and see what it what it looks like, what it feels like, what the quality's like. So yeah, it's good to see that he's finally out. What do you think, Eddie? We'll let you go first on this one.
I have this on pre-order. I'm a big prequel guy. That's a lot of my favorite Star Wars, and I remember as a kid loving the whole him scene where he loses his head and puts the droid head on, and I remember me and my little brother would always laugh when he's like, "Die, Jedi dogs." That was some of our favorite childhood memories, dude. So, but I was really young when I watched that, so that's why we love that. I love the hilarious scene with him.
It's the exact same things that I hated about the prequels, Eddie. So that's
I know.
Interesting,
which I come to hate about current Star Wars. So that's how the world keeps doing.
I will say though, the comedy though, the comedy, I think with say Eddie and stuff, for guys who were more grew up, obviously I was kind of in between because I wasn't old enough quite to watch the original trilogy in movie theaters. But those are the movies that I watched throughout the 80s. Is the comedy that was involved, that sequence fit the characters, for me as a longtime person, because ending up in really goofy situations like that, while that was maybe a little bit more over the top in the original trilogy, C-3PO and R2-D2 ended up in crazy situations like that. So I think the comedy fit more than say sequel trilogy, where it felt always very forced, like MCU comedy being thrown into Star Wars.
This is so Attack of the Clones is one of the more that's everybody's least favorite, right? The consensus for prequels is Attack of the Clones is the least. So. I think growing up, it was one of my favorites because it had the funny stuff with R2 and C-3PO, but it had the fight scene, that whole like back half of the movie where they're in the arena and they fight the animals and everything. That I don't remember having toys a lot as a kid because I was more of a video game kid. But I remember having toys of those animals, like, and I had. I don't remember if it was like vintage collection because I don't know if they did prequel stuff with vintage collection at the time. But I remember I had like 3 3/4 Obi-Wan and Anakin and Padme in like that scene from the arena, and they were fighting those monsters. I remember having those as a kid.
Yeah, I think it's got some great scenes in them, and the Jango Fett Obi-Wan duel and stuff as well. I think it's the really cringy love scenes with Padme and Anakin that really drag it down.
They also have Padme in the corset in that one, which at prime time youth preteen Eddie, I was like, holy fuck.
Yeah, it was.
So you have that too with Padme. So as Anakin was falling in love, I was too. So.
Hey, I've just got to put this up on the screen, guys. This is
Eddie
my friend Mark.
In the Force at a very young age.
I can't get it to go up on the screen. Why can't I get this to comments go? So my friend Mark, who I've known for 42, 43 years. He's one of the biggest supporters of OFAC. He lives in Southend-on-the-Sea, and Zach was very impressed at the number of listeners from basically my hometown. So I think it might be his first one that he's watched live. So nice to see you, mate. Happy birthday!
Was he at celebration with us?
A couple of days ago? No, that was another Mark.
Oh, right.
You haven't met this guy, unfortunately.
You only hang around with Marks.
Yeah, so he's. He's pretty much. Yeah.
Mark
I did invite him on. Yeah, I invited him on the show, but he was a little bit nervous, and he said, "What would I talk about?" So it's great to see that he's watching live anyway. And thanks for the congratulations there, mate. Enjoy. I'll see him tomorrow. Shane, I know you've ordered the Return of the Jedi. I assume you're not picking this one up.
No, I held out because it was kind of easy because I don't
you had more faith than me. And
there was a lot of people saying, no, you got to get this one because you're never going to get the original trilogy one. But now I'm in a situation where, like, I saw the Vader and the C-3PO and locked it in. And now I'm kind of holding faith now that they will do the same for R2-D2. So hopefully they do it. You don't know, like, Hot Toys logic, but
it's a weird one. It's such an easy release for them.
Yeah,
they don't need to do a lot.
It would make sense. It makes sense, which makes me think it probably won't happen now. But I might have to go backwards and get that original trilogy one.
Yeah.
Pardon?
Sorry, Lane?
I said Hot Toys and Sense don't go together often.
Yeah, they don't. Right. They release Pennywise at Christmas.
No.
So, yeah. But I like this,
Thomas,
because it's just weathered.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to having it in hand, whether I keep it or not, because it won't really go with anything. But I'm very interested to see like the paint job and stuff because it does look cool. Do you think, Thomas? Do you like him?
I kind of like it. Now I don't know if I have this one on order. I have a C-3PO on order because I wanted to have one. I don't remember having all the different metals on it, so I might. I don't know. I have to check Sideshow and see what I ordered, but I think it's pretty cool looking. Yeah, but I'm just kind of I don't know. Why'd they give him such a flat tushy? I mean, it's
well, you want some cakes on your 3PO?
Yeah, I mean, come on, do him a little bit of justice. I mean, that's a pancake ass right there. But
it is.
I mean, come on, and they turn him around to show it like they're saying, "Look what we made for you. Isn't this gorgeous?" I'm like, no, it needs to have a little shape to it. So, That's the only downside to it, is that he has no cake, but I think it's a pretty cool. I think it's a pretty cool
we'll
looking
do that
figure.
with Kate Bishop in a little bit.
She better have cake. I'm gonna be really mad if she doesn't. But yeah, this is a.
I don't know how to comment on this without being racist, so I'm gonna continue.
Hey, I like big butts and I cannot lie. Okay, sorry.
Yeah. Eddie, I'll just say be careful. It's earlier in the day.
I know. It's after dark in the UK, though. It's after dark overseas.
I understand that.
We'll allow it.
Yeah, we will. We will.
But yeah, it's pretty cool looking. But I think I like the ones that have more of the gold on it. Like I think the one I ordered might have like the silver leg, but the rest of it is gold.
The Return of the Jedi one, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the one I ordered.
Thomas's perfect C-3PO is a lovely golden leg and a giant arse. And then we're done. We're sorted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you want the robot from Metropolis. I think you're getting confused, Thomas. And Ian, I know you're not picking this up. But what do you think?
Not remotely bothered about this one. It's nice. I like it, but I've got the Return of the Jedi one on pre-order, so that would be me.
Yeah.
I mean, this is nice and all, and if you're into Attack of the Clones, great, but not for me.
The sound in your voice is very reassuring there, Ian. Thank you.
I mean,
thank you for trying to be ecstatic and happy for prequel stuff. I appreciate you, buddy.
I don't mind prequel stuff. It's just this.
It's just this.
I feel like
Thomas
Ian
has
is the
removed
guy.
a little bit.
I feel like Ian is the guy who gets sent for sensitivity training at work. Like,
you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Yeah, he's like.
Although,
you could just be a little less blunt, please.
Yeah, I've never told a joke so funny that HR wants to hear it, which is always handy. But I could probably be a little bit nicer. But no, I mean, this is great, fantastic. It's brilliant. It's got lovely red pants and a nice flat arse. What more? What do you want with an android?
No. Go back. No, I'm not buying it.
No.
So, hey guys, see who's picking this up and everything, or even for Shane with the Return of the Jedi one, you're going to be getting. The only concern, I decided not to pick up the C-3PO because I decided I want to wait for original trilogy one. But I thought by that point, I thought we were going to have a lot more releases for Return of the Jedi. So that kind of spitballed me not picking up 3PO. But this is more, this is more just for the figure itself. Do you guys have any concerns with like the midsection there with all the different sculpting? I assume it's sculpting that's been done in for all the wiring and everything and the midsection going around to the back and everything, that there could be any issues with the figure over time. With that was my only kind of concern when I looked at it. Either wearing down of paint or if they're actually little threads. And
not overly.
I'd be more worried about the piston snapping, if I'm honest, than anything else. I mean, when you look at the sideshow one, all that mid-drift is just one piece, and I can't see this being any different.
Yeah, the Smash Nations one had some real wires in it, which obviously you'd have to be a little bit more careful about not twisting it too much. As you say, the only concern you might get a little bit of paint rub on the wires if it's rubbing against his pants. But I wouldn't be overly concerned about it, to be honest.
Yeah. I just think it looks cool. They put time and effort, made it look good. It looks good. It's going to be I would say, obviously, I would have said Return of the Jedi one. I think is probably the one I like better of the two. However, this one does, at least with the droid head and stuff, actually come with some stuff. That's maybe the one knock you can do for the figure, where is that it really doesn't come with much for and I know it's got some die cast in it, but for over both of them were over 300, correct? Remember?
Okay. Yeah, I was going to ask if it was die cast or not, because
some of it I don't know exactly what is and what isn't. No, I don't know.
I think it was 315 or somewhere between 315 and 330 or so US for the maybe 335 for the Return of the Jedi one.
Yeah.
See, I don't mind that because you get Salacious Crumb with it as well.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's the...
Because I'm more likely to display Salacious Crumb than I am the droid head.
Oh, yeah. 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 But, no, I'm you know, I think it's a good release, and I'm looking forward to at least getting it in hand and seeing what they've done with him, because obviously a lot of the moulding is going to be reused for the Jedi version. So that'll be good. Okay, Shane, you can run with this one, because I know you've got this guy coming soon. This is the Hot Toys Doc Ock from No Way Home.
This is, for me, what I consider a triple threat. Love the character, love the source material. I'm not actually a big Raimi fan at all. Love No Way Home, and I love this version of it. Like the layering, the coats, the even the belt around the kind of polo neck, the tentacles, the fact you get to swap out nanotech. I actually love the bit where essentially Peter defeated him using Bluetooth and just synced with him. I thought it was just, I didn't see it coming. I was like, that's almost too simple, but yeah, I actually thought it was quite cool. The glaring obvious thing here is that, the head sculpt's not up to scratch. Now, I thought they would improve it. Now, I hear people going, but they never improve it. You know, the prototype is what you get, or you get a downgrade. The odd time you get the Killmonger or the Rays that are better. Now, the reason I thought they would is because the day this was announced and everyone called it Chevy Chase and Austin Powers and everything was because JC Hong posted on his official Facebook page saying, this is a work in progress. And I thought that was a bit like, okay, he knows this isn't up to scratch, and they're saying he's saying they're going to work on it, whereas they never normally do that. So I had faith, and it wasn't rewarded, unfortunately. So at best, with the glasses on, this is a 7. I can see traces of Melina in there, but I'm not going to sit here and go, this is a banger. It's not a 10. It's not a 9. It's not an 8. I'd say at best with the glasses, it's a 7. Am I overly disappointed? No. Am I going to cancel it? No. Am I still hyped for it? Yes. No. It's just a pity, because I think if they nailed that head sculpt, it probably would have had potential for figure of the year. It would have been in the running, I think, with Kathleen and whatever.
I think it looks great. It's got so much presence with the tentacles and stuff that I think you can kind of, you can overlook the. And I think they improved it a little bit. It does look a bit better, but maybe half a point. And not the 2
Yeah, I
points
think maybe half a point, and that could even be, yourself focal length, lens, camera, lighting. But look, I'm really looking forward to getting it. It's coming home. I'm looking forward to what I can do with those tentacles, and it's still going to be a great figure, but just the head sculpt isn't up to scratch. Wouldn't rule out the potential. I'd imagine you're going to see a few sculpts pop up. For the Andrew, that's what I'm getting. I've got that Andrew, but obviously that was the younger Andrew. Seems to be modelled on Amazing Spider-Man 2, and that's what it's branded. But I do have one by Black 8 Studio, which is modelled after his appearance in No Way Home. So I might, if I see a decent skull for a decent price, go down that route. But I'm still really looking forward to this.
No, I would be. I think. Yeah, he said that his one was from the original.
It's from the
appearance.
From the original,
I think he might he might go back to it and update it, because I think a lot of people are going to be looking for
and that's still better than this dog turd, anyway.
Oh, of course it is. Yeah, exactly. But no, I think whenever you get a figure like that with some really cool accessories you like, but I know it's a tech, but they look really good. Are you planning to display them on his own, Shane, or in combat with a Spider-Man?
Yeah, I think, you see, I've got the floating shelves, and obviously I'm not a completionist, but there are certain lines which I definitely have gone deeper into. So I'm looking above me with the battle damage Thanos from Endgame, Rocket, the Iron Patriot, Loki, and Captain America. Now I do have the battle damage Mark 85 behind me, but that's in there because it's lit up in that iconic pose, because it's easier to hide the wires there as opposed to floating shelf. But I'm picking up the Endgame, Hawkeye and Black Widow as well, so it's kind of filling out. But my point is that with the floating shelves, that's where I'll put maybe if I have kind of some pieces of a line. So it could be interesting having this guy here on one floating shelf, and you could have a Spider-Man above it or below it. Or I kind of want to do some bit more dynamic with this guy, to be honest. So it'll be not on a detail type of display.
Just make sure you getting balanced right.
The trick is to not use a stand. The trick is to not use a stand. Yeah, the one of the few figures I use a stand for takes a plummet. I'm telling you, he was trying to recreate that Hong Kong heist scene. But
yeah, absolutely. Anyone else want to share some thoughts on this figure?
I don't have the same, like, I don't feel as strongly as some of the community that the head sculpt sucks. To me, I see Alfred Molina in it. Or that's his name, Alfred? What's his name?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
For me, I see it in him. So, like, definitely more than I see Chevy Chase or Austin Powers. So, Zach was trying to show us pictures of Chevy Chase. I don't see Chevy Chase at all. I see him. But for me, the expression is goofy.
Yeah.
I feel like half the time they go with a stern or, like, nothing expression. And I feel like with him, they could have done that because his character is very, like, he doesn't feel a lot, right? Like, he's half of the time he's upset because his wife died and he's screwed like this now. So, like, I feel like he has that emotion. So that emotion would have went well with this character, but I don't know why they decided to give him an expression. And I know
I think
that it's the No Way Home version.
The Hello Peter scene, haven't they? And it doesn't
exactly
really work. Yeah.
Yeah.
But the middle picture here looks more like I'm here to party.
I don't know what it looks like, dude. It just looks like he's
got a keg.
He's awkwardly smiling, like in a picture. Someone told him to smile. He doesn't know how to smile or something. So he's
there you go. That's it.
Yeah,
It's a very awkward smile. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think if they had done a different type of smile,
this is cuckold face.
Yeah, I mean, because he's.
I can't see. Now I can't unsee that. So
he's like, "Hi, honey. What are you doing?"
I mean, I do seem to recall that he did in No Way Home. He did kind of smile a little bit more. He was one of the ones with a more pleasant disposition, but this particular expression is just looks very odd. It looks, it's just an odd smile. I think if they had nailed that, because if I take my finger and cover up his mouth, I see much more of Alfred Molina, but with that smile really throws me off.
Also,
you know what I see? I see John Lennon stung by bees.
Okay, now
that's what I see.
Okay.
Someone else commented the other day, John Lennon, and I definitely see Lennon more than Chase or Powers, but. That's what you give anything a bowl cut and those glasses, and you're gonna see the Beatles.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
but it does look.
I think they call it a mop top, Eddie.
Mop top. Is that what it is? In the States, it's a bowl, or the Edgar, if you're Mexican. But
it's called the sex offender.
Jeez, there you go. I'm just gonna let Ian run away with this one then.
It's fucking awful. Like, there's no. The more I look at it, the more I just think, what the fuck were they playing at? Like, for fuck's sake, it's. I mean, look, it's okay from the shoulders down. Let's put it that way. It's from the shoulders down. It's a very nice figure. It's a middle-aged man with middle-aged is probably slightly nice, but it's an old man with giant tentacles.
What did you say there? I didn't quite catch that.
Yeah.
Sounded like something else.
Yeah, he's got droopy tentacles.
Yeah.
Swap out tentacles too.
That's it. Yeah.
One set of red
biking accident.
Nanotech testicles.
It's just awful. Like, and how much is this thing? £200 for the standard and £250 for the deluxe.
Yeah.
I mean, that's fucking harsh, isn't it? That's
If you get home license.
Exactly. I mean, if you can get another head sculpt, great, fantastic. But I just think, fuck off. Like, Don't piss
But then
on
you're
the shoe and
pushing it
tell
up
me it's
into
raining. Like,
in-art prices then, aren't you? If you've got to pay for a custom sculpt, have it painted, you know, that's going to push the price up a fair bit as well.
Do you know what? That expression is him looking at the price of his own figure. That's what that is. How much? What? Oh.
Yeah.
Fuck. Do you know what? Like, I'm glad we're having this conversation because it's a figure that I am getting, I'm hyped about, but I'm still able to go, no, it's not all the way there. Yeah. And it's getting roasted, and I'm finding it funny, and I'm not taking offense by it. Yeah. It can be done, folks. It can be done.
You're not trying to defend it. You're rolling with it, and that's great.
But, you know, if we went to more of a comic book accuracy type of thing, Doc Ock from the comic books was really, really awkward looking. And he was much more pudgy. He had a weird little face. Yeah, so I mean, you know, you might be able to make a case for it and say this is more comic book accurate. I don't know if they nailed the actor's likeness, but I'm kind of like, well, you know, it's all right because actually the rest of the figure looks great. The tentacles look great. The costuming looks really good. So, you know what? It's still something that will look good on a shelf, I think, until people start looking at the face and making
from a distance comments. With your eyes closed, it looks fantastic.
Oh man!
It could always be worse. It could always be worse.
That's true.
That's the way I look at it. Some people pull their face.
Asmus could have done it.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, it could be Asmus.
Yeah,
or Star Ace. Let's be honest. If it was Star Ace, it would have been
Star Ace. No, come on. Yeah, it's not that yet. It's definitely not.
Yeah, this would be one of their best.
They could merge together and form Strasnus. Oh my god! You don't want to see that.
It's like a terrible indie band.
Anyway, I look forward to seeing, you know, when you get him, Shane, and seeing what your thoughts are in hand.
I'm good. I don't have to see it, but if Pete wants to see it, then that's fine. Oh, what the fuck is this?
So then we have Kate Bishop from the Hawkeye show, and I kept thinking, what the fuck's that on her chin? But it's a little plaster, isn't it? It's like a little steri strip. On
mole.
It's Austin Powers with the molly.
Yeah. I thought it was Hawkeye essence.
That's what I said for. I said it was a money shot. Yeah. She didn't want.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, definitely.
Oh man,
that was in the deleted scenes. Does anyone?
Sorry, guys. Sorry, I can't quite join the dots here, but there's definitely an aim and a Hawkeye joke there somewhere.
Oh,
yeah, definitely.
Oh man, he never misses though.
He never misses.
I would do it.
You should see it back.
Okay, that feels. I don't know. That one felt a little too much.
Yeah.
That's why I didn't say it, but I knew if I teed it up, someone would.
So you knew you'd set me up for the Eddie. Eddie could do it for me. Thanks.
Definitely. Yeah, Eddie do it. Eddie would take one for the team.
They don't call you Money Mendez for nothing.
Yeah.
Well, all joking aside, I was kind of the same way I felt about Doc Ock. Like I see her likeness in it, and like the only thing I don't like about the hair is I feel like the hair isn't detailed enough.
Yeah.
Like because I like the shape. I like how they did the strands in the front and then the ponytail. I think it looks good. It just for some reason it looks.
There's no highlight to it.
Yeah. There's no like. Flat, there's no like. It needs to be a little more sculpted, a little more detail, I guess. But that's the only thing that
they're doing that a lot with long-haired figures at the moment. Is they seem to like base coat it and then leave it. They don't do anything else to it. There's no shading, no highlights, nothing. So it looks really flat and plasticky. And then when you get a two-part piece like that, there's no way to hide the join between the two because it's just flat. Unless you're looking at it like that picture on the far right, where you're relying on the light to do it all for you. It just looks weird.
Yeah, that's true. Because on the right side, it looks the best out of all of them. There are things that you don't see as a collector unless you're like a customizer. Like, you guys do a lot of custom. I would have never thought it's the flat paint why I don't like it. But then when you look at it on the right and it has that sheen to it, it looks better.
Yeah.
So that's true. Yeah. That's a good point.
When I first saw
the face, there's lots going on. Sorry, but I was just saying there's lots going on the face, and then it's kind of like it's kind of like they had a couple of hours to do it and went, no one will notice the hair. It'll be fine.
And when I first saw this, that was the first thing I noticed. I said, "Man, the hair looks off." And I don't have a problem with the face. I actually see her in the rest of it, but it's the hair. And see, I just received my TVA Loki, so I know Hot Toys can do hair, but there is such depth and such. I mean, they have individual strands. And they layered it. I don't know how they must have multiple layers that they laid on top of it to get that detail, because there's individual strands at the bottom of the figure, in the middle. I mean, of the hair, the bottom, the middle, and the top. And so they can do hair, and it also has that depth and that sheen to it. So yeah, I think that they screwed the pooch on the hair, but I'm okay with everything else. The face looks fine. It's that hair.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you're right. You can tell who it is. It's a decent likeness. Anyone picking this up?
I am.
You are. You got this on order, have you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you'll have to do some magic with the hair, Thomas. You're okay with a paintbrush, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm okay. I mean, I can add some sheen. I'm not so sure about the detail. I might take a stab at it and see if I can do something to improve it.
Dry brush, slightly lighter.
Dry brush?
Yeah, just bright.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just to pick it out.
Oh, okay. But I like the actual figure, because see, I'm also in the process of trying to put together my figures for my Young Avengers. So I definitely need a Kate and some of these other ones. But I'm happy to get her. Plus, I also have Yelena coming, so I might actually pose them together from the Hawkeye series and put Ronan in with them. They can maybe have a little duke out in one of my I was about to say cages. One of my boxes, whatever those things are called. Display by.
I enjoyed Yelena's performance in Oppenheimer. Hey Shane, if you know, you know.
He enjoyed it so much he got thrown out the cinema.
Wow.
Yeah.
Left a little bit of butter on the back of the seat there.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
You gotta stop with the awkward silences after the joke. 'Cause then it just
I love
weird.
them.
Yeah.
I think they're so much better.
Yeah.
I love
We
it.
agreed. We agreed before you got here to just do awkward silences after everything you
Yeah.
say, just to freak you out.
Yeah.
I love it. I'm like, I could say something, but I'm not, because the silence is doing all the work for me.
That's some empty air there. Yeah.
Yeah, it's doing all the heavy lifting.
And then we thought we had the Hot Toys Robocop 3 released, and there were pictures, the classic pictures of it piled up in boxes on the streets in Hong Kong. But as I understand it, and I only read it one place, that it was recalled for a QC issue or something. But if anybody's got any more information on that, please share it. But that's all I heard, was it had been recalled, and obviously I haven't seen anyone with it in hand, so I assume that to be true.
Do you know why it was?
The question. Yeah.
They had them all made. Everything was good. They'd sent them to secret base, and they realized, wait a second, this is Peter Weller's face. We need to go back and make the other guy's face.
It would be fun if it was.
But like,
I know.
Peter Weller wasn't in the third one, but yeah, it looks like Peter Weller, which is great for people who want to pose this as a number 1 or number 2 Robocop. But I don't know.
We find there's a lawsuit from the actor from the third movie. and he's halted delivery of the figure.
Oh.
Dun, dun, dun.
So you say
have no
those
idea.
are my lips?
No, I have no idea.
Yeah. I think a lot of people were picking this up to be their Robocop, not to represent as the part 3, because that's, I don't know if I've even seen it, but I think it's pretty bad.
It's so bad.
Yeah.
It's fucking awful. Well, it's worth a watch.
Yeah, but people were going to pick it up because, you know, it's got Peter Weller's face, so it works perfectly well for 1 and 2. And I think the paint job is, you know, it's got that more of a blue sheen, which kind of fits in with Robocop 2. So, yeah, I'm sure we'll see it out soon, but from now, it's been recalled for some reason. So, wait a bit longer on that one. But, yeah, we've all got or owned some of the original Robocop figures from Hot Toys, and they're fantastic, and I absolutely love mine. So, you know, if this was going to be your one Robocop, then it'll be a great figure. You can just leave that backpack and in the box, and yeah, you'll be good. But yeah, so we'll wait and see what happens with that one. And then we've got the Iconic Studios Alley, and I'm not 100% sure if this is actually released yet, but if not, it's really close. I think it looks great. Obviously, it's designed to go with the other head that they sold before, which is the closed mouth look. This one's quite specific. You've got to have him in a real action pose to use this head. But if you've got the other one,
otherwise he just looks mentally ill.
Yeah.
If he's just standing there.
I think the body looks absolutely incredible. You know, again, it's a unique body. They've worked with Fison on this, to replicate his actual physique. And I mean, I'd say that's the best looking seamless body I think I've ever seen in terms of realism. Yeah. It looks incredible.
I'm glad I lent Andy my body type to base it off of.
Well, yeah,
it was really worth it. Yeah.
Do you get commission on this?
I said just take it. This sort of body you can't just hide. You've got to share with the world.
Yeah, you got to share it with the world.
Andy,
you have
just take.
You see, I've never met Ian. I've only ever seen him on YouTube. So apparently, from the neck down, he's black.
I'm like an Adonis. It's all relaxed muscle.
Oh, okay. It's all that tea, huh?
It is. It stains crumpets. After a while. It's fine.
Yeah,
it's fine.
But again, it looks like another cracking release from Iconic. You got the 2 pairs of boots, so you can have him in a fighting pose and stuff. So Thomas, I know you were talking on a show a while back, whether it was Ben's or whatever, about you were looking to pick up some African American seamless bodies. So you're going to order a ton of these, are you?
No, I'm just ordering the one. But however, I also.
Oh, you have?
Yeah, I have this. I have the deluxe because I actually prefer the other head. But
yes, yeah.
But yeah, I have the deluxe for this one. I also ordered the Apollo Creed, and they just put out recently the Mr. T version also, and so I think I'm going to order that one also. And but they did a good job on this one.
Into the Star Race.
They're pulling out these really good seamless bodies, and I'm liking it. The only thing they need to do is paint on some nipples. That's the only thing that's missing.
He's all about the ass and nipples, this man. He's like,
but seriously, he's a boxer. He's out with his shirt off. He needs to have nipples. And
that's weird.
I was gonna say you could just get a Sharpie.
He doesn't.
Yeah.
That's strange the way they omitted that. Yeah.
But that's the way Fison bodies are. They come with the. You can actually see the shape of the nipple
don't paint them.
Sculpted in, but they don't paint it. And so I'm like, well, that would have been something that they should have added.
Thyssen are so weird because they will literally give you a bag of dicks with everybody you buy, but they won't paint nipples on something.
They won't paint
them. Where's the line?
No.
Where is the line that
exactly.
they choose?
Yeah, I mean, they crossed a massive line there with those bag of dicks. And it's always a thing because I've got the one that I use for Conan, and I had to paint his.
We still talking about the dicks?
Weird with that.
Yeah, that's
No.
Yeah. So we have asses, nipples, and dicks so far.
Yeah.
So
If anyone has just joined us, like,
I sent all mine to you and Dave, mate. I haven't got any left.
Yeah, the problem is you put them in clear packets, and now the postman just thinks I'm a pervert.
Jesus.
He's thinking, this man's got a small anus.
Yeah. Please, it's like throwing a sausage down a corridor.
Jesus.
Oh.
But anyway, Ali's good.
Congratulations, lads. Thomas, that looks like a cracking figure. Look forward to seeing what you think of him. But yeah, I mean, I'd be very tempted.
Iconic are great.
I wouldn't know where to put him in the collection. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the same for me.
Yeah, well, I have some other. I've got some of the basketball figures, so I may actually just have a display of sports.
That's cool.
Sports figures I can put in there, just like for my miscellaneous movie figures. Even if I don't have a full collection, if they came specifically from a movie, like I have some Matrix releases, I have some Edward Scissorhands and things like that. Well, I'm probably just going to put them all in one cabinet together and just say these are like from movies. Yeah, miscellaneous movie representations.
Icons from movies.
Icons, exactly, yeah. But yeah, this is a good looking figure. Yeah.
And as weird as it might sound, I'd want to own this just because that body is just incredible. I mean, hats off to you, Ian. I don't know how you do it, mate. Must be all that leaning over the board in Warhammer. It's shaking those abs.
That's exactly what it is. Exactly what it is.
Yeah,
it's playing with my miniatures that does that.
But yeah, it looks great.
Thing is with Iconic as well. Is the price point like 160 quid for the standard, and you think about the R&D that had to go into the body, everything that kind of went into it, and you kind of go, how the fuck do they do that for 160 quid? And yet we're getting paid. We're having to pay 200 quid for a Doc Ock that looks like the bloated corpse of John Lennon. Like, I don't get it.
Yeah, that's true. I wonder why.
Yeah. Well, Iconic. We know they're a shining light in the hobby, and they're doing some great things. And
they are.
Got a lot more Street Fighter stuff coming, and
yes,
I might be. Yeah, we've had Akuma and Chun-Li listed. I'll be very tempted in picking up Chun-Li.
Have they shown? Have they actually shown any of them yet?
No, they haven't.
Yet?
Just the teasers.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm all in for a Zangief. I keep pestering Andy on that one, saying, "Come, when's Zangief coming?" Because he's going to be a fucking massive. He's going to be like quarter scale.
Yeah, that body is going to be crazy too.
Yeah, so I want a Zangief.
I want to see how they do the chest.
Yeah,
doesn't he have hair on his chest?
With his big. He does. It's like a lightning bolt kind of.
Yeah.
Is that the green
shape?
one?
Yeah.
With the red hair?
No,
that's Blanca.
He's the big dude in the Speedos.
He's the Russian wrestler.
Speedos.
Oh, okay.
The Russian from Wreck-It Ralph.
Yeah, from Wreck-It Ralph. Yeah.
Now, who's the one with the big flat top? Who's that one?
Guile.
Guile. Okay.
The American Guile. Yeah. Yeah. So there's so many cool characters. I mean, it dulls him. How are they going to do him? Although the One Piece figure, Hot Toys have shown that they're doing some stretchy arms and legs. So if they can do it, Iconic can do it. For dulls him, that'd be fantastic. So anyway, that was it for new releases coming soon. So we have little green frog guy called the Force Master, which from 12 World. Now I've never heard of them. It's amazing how these new companies just come out of the woodwork. So essentially, what we've got here is a knockoff of the Attack of the Clones Hot Toys Yoda with the second head sculpt, which is the closed eye Empire Strikes Back Hot Toys sculpt. So it looks a lot older than the Attack of the Clones one. I mean, what's the price on this one?
There wasn't one. I couldn't find a price or a release date for it anywhere.
I mean, I recently picked up the Attack of the Clones Yoda, and it was a difficult one because it was it felt like a lot of money for, you know, it was about $240, I think, for the size of the figure. But he's bloody brilliant. We get him. He's got so much shelf presence, and he's brilliant. So I kind of get that, you know, it's a good one to tap into, but you know, it'd be very much dependent on price. You do get the two head sculpts, but I think the closed eye one's from Empire, so he's a good bit, you know, older.
Yeah.
But,
you get the chair. I wonder, like,
yeah, you get the chair
like
as well, which is
clamshell,
ripped off from the Sideshow one, isn't it? From a few years back. Yeah, it'd just be solid plastic or hollow plastic, but yeah. I mean, I don't need it. I've got the Hot Toys, but
it's interesting.
Are these pictures just?
You don't see third-party Star Wars very often, so I was like kind of shocked.
No.
I think the last third-party Star Wars thing we saw was that Anakin, right? That like really
the chosen one.
The Palpatine released the other day.
That's like a clothing set, isn't it? And the head sculpt, yeah. And a way back you had a few years back you had the Mace Windu and Qui-Gon.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and they were okay. They were like Toys Master or something like that made those. And they were, the Mace was okay for the time, and obviously, you know, Hot Toys have now got one coming. But yeah, and obviously they've put here that the lightsaber does not light up. So and Yoda didn't, the original release didn't have a light up option anyway, because obviously you can't really get into his arm in the same way that you could with you know, with the human figures. So you're not losing out anything there. You got to go CCFL on that guy, and you won't really see it, but I've got him right behind me there in the shot. Little Yoda with his lightsaber.
Just sent me over the price. So it's $172 for the one with the chair that they call the elderly chair, which is good.
Love it.
And it's out just after Q1 2024, so just after Christmas. But they have picked the most god awful picture of it sitting in the chair that you look at it and go, no, thank you. Nope, not for me.
I mean, that's cheap as shit without the chair. That's like about £110. So if it comes out okay, you know, it might be worth a go. You can't really knock that for price. But
I think the Attack of the Clones one was $180, and it didn't come with a chair.
Yeah. And only one head sculpt. Yeah. So
did one of
if it's
one
any
of the
good,
Hot Toys releases came with the chair, right? There was a Hot Toy release with the chair.
No,
that's the
Sideshow one. Sideshow one, yeah.
And when Sideshows came with the chair, it was a swap out body that you'd put him on the chair with, right? You didn't have to pose him and sit him on there, or was it?
No, you posed him.
Really?
Yeah. I think Hasbro did. Yeah. Hasbro did one with a chair, and so did Sideshow.
Oh, okay. I don't know why I'm remembering there was a swap.
Yeah, because I had the one with the chair a while back. I sold it on a few years ago. But yeah,
was it easy to get him to sit like right on that chair, or is it awkward?
You could bend him at the waist, but it probably didn't. I don't think it looked particularly natural.
Yeah.
You know, so it's probably not a good look for him, to be fair.
Yeah.
But yeah, now I see the price. I mean, if it comes out okay, then it might be worth a punt on that one if you don't want to pay for the Hot Toys. But the Hot Toys is a great figure, no doubt. And then we've got the Imperial Praetorian Guard from Mandalorian Season 3. It looks okay. Doesn't really do anything for me. Not something that I'll be looking to pick up. Has anyone Anyone after this guy?
I like it, but you'd need 2.
Mm.
So that instantly makes me go, no thanks. If there's certain figures that scream out for like a double pack. And this, instead of giving us like every weapon that each one had, and then make me buy 2, so I end up with one with 2 weapons I don't need. Just give me a double pack, and I'll probably be a lot happier. But I mean, look, it looks okay, but it's just not for me. I think it's out Q3 to 4, 2024, so end of next year. At that point, this wouldn't have popped up in anything else, and we all would have forgotten about it by then.
Yeah.
It's 225 quid, so that's a fair bit for a bit.
That's probably the cheapest. It's probably the cheapest Hot Toy on Sideshow. Apart from the Stormtrooper Commander was $220 for the longest time. I don't know. I'll check if you can still get that one, but that was the cheapest figure for the longest time.
Okay.
Let's see. Stormtrooper.
So you're a trooper guy, Shane. I know he's not technically a trooper. Is he on your radar at all?
No, because just the season 3 affected. Like, okay, let's be fair. This was the most memorable scene. This is probably the coolest scene in the whole entire season for me. Just a heavy man on the 3Ds. Thought that was very well done. They looked the business. I can't fault it. But if I want to get these red guys, I want to go back and get the Royal Guards from the original trilogy and put them behind the Vader, or put them behind, I don't know, if an Emperor if I picked it up. It's because I just feel if I got these, it'd be like, okay, why am I getting these? You know, you didn't like that particular season, and then if they do reissue Royal Guards for, I don't know, Return of the Jedi, or you see them cheap or whatever, then it's like, all right, now I have these, and so no, it's an easy pass, but it looks the business.
Yeah. I was saying on Bench on Sunday that I just can't believe the price of the Royal Guards. It's such a simple figure. There's not a lot to it. And they go for £300 all day long. And if you're buying 2 as well.
That Stormtrooper Commander with the pauldron from Mandalorian, that's still on Sideshow, and it's not waitlist or anything. You just add the carts, $220. So that was the cheapest for the longest time.
Right.
And this is there's not much more going on with these. But I suppose maybe these molds are, I don't know, less common than a standard Stormtrooper. Do you know what I mean? So maybe it's easier to produce the Stormtrooper Commander. Or then maybe it's just inflation because the Stormtrooper Commander came out a few years ago at this stage, maybe 2 years ago.
Yeah. Cool. No, I'd say it looks good in the red. It's striking, but I think it's a bit of a like who will be talking about these guys in years to come? Probably not in the same way that of the Royal Guards. So and then Mars Toys teased their Michael Goff Alfred from Michael Gove. Michael Goff, sorry. And it's funny because I know him as, obviously, you know, if you said to me who's Alfred was he, then it's Michael Keaton, but I forget that he was in Forever and Batman and Robin as well. I know Eddie's a massive Batman Forever fan, and he was the one that mentioned it. I was like, I forgot he was in those as well.
He's the only same actor in all of them, right?
Yeah. As good as others have done it, you know. So Michael Caine. This is my Alfred. This is the guy that I think is my definitive Alfred. So it's good to see another complementary figure from Mars Toys to go with your Keaton Batmans. Again, glasses look a bit ropey. It's something that companies struggle to do at 6 scale. But I quite like the sculpt. I think it looks good. And it'll come in at a decent price because it's quite bare bones, I'd imagine. He's probably going to have a little tray with some drinks on and some lobster. Batman likes some lobster. Certainly the Lego Batman does anyway. But yeah, what do you guys think?
I like it. He looks like a proper Alfred, and
yeah,
I would really I think he would really make a great complimentary figure in the cabinet. Just like you said, he could be bringing in his tray of goods, or he could be maybe bringing a tray of bat accessories for his to put in his little bat pouches, like the bat shark repellent or something like that. He could be bringing that
some bat snacks.
Yeah, bat snacks, exactly.
Bat
snacks.
Yeah,
this looks great. I like it. This is something I definitely would like to get.
I like the fact that they've done the proper old man ears. Those ears keep growing, and they are
huge.
Yeah.
If you have a Batcave display, this would go good in a Batcave display. Like I know there's a lot of custom Batcaves. You could put them in there. If you don't have a Batcave, I feel like would you pose him with Batman, or where would you put him? Because I don't know if I'd want him with Batman. If Batman's like in an action pose, I don't know if I want Alfred just standing there next to him, just, hey, what's up, So I don't know.
Well, he could be bringing him a martini,
Yeah, see, you're going Adam West with it. My Batman didn't drink martinis. I don't remember. And fight off sharks.
Oh, Sam the American Eagle.
Yeah, those ears are really huge. I mean, he could probably hear tomorrow.
Yeah, but that's what I like about it, because it's proper like old man accurate. I'm looking forward to it. My ears are as big as that.
Your ears.
It's the irony that as you get older, your ears get massive, but you can't hear a thing.
Yeah, they're the only two parts that keep growing. Yeah. Your ears and your nose.
Yeah. Yeah. It's funny. So I like
so
that.
many jokes and not enough time.
I didn't. Yeah, I'm letting him go. Ian.
Yeah. There's a lot of things that shrink as well. Right, this one's hilarious.
What the fuck is this?
That's dude.
Again, when
that's
we
Alfred on the left
like,
still. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, when we talked about Doc Ock and we said it's great from the neck down. I mean, this epitomizes that. I think
you should have started with this.
It's a good flight. It's a great flight suit, and
it looks like he's angry at me.
Look at the Or he's
more like
a really
on the
bad
left.
fart.
It looks more like Jack Nicholson from A Few Good Men.
Yeah,
it does. Fucking Maverick.
It looks like someone's got a Thunderbird puppy and tried to set it on fire. It's fucking awful.
So for anyone listening, this is the Toys Shining. I mean, what the fuck is
Lucky
that?
bastards. They don't have to look at it.
US Navy Aviator, and this is the F-18 version. There's more to come. Don't worry. Tom Cruise from Maverick. Yeah, I mean, to me, he looks like he's wrinkling his nose up, going.
There were 17 before this one.
Smell.
Yeah,
and they all did it
better.
F-18, right? Good joke.
He's a little bloated. And they also didn't get his nose right. His nose, Tom Cruise's nose has been broken, and it's actually noticeably crooked. That that's completely off. But yeah, he looks like he's
my
swollen.
biggest complaint.
No,
there's not a lot to get right with this, Thomas.
True. The glasses don't save him. Definitely don't save him. He's.
Have you seen?
I assume. Mm-hmm.
Have you seen the mask they used on Harrison Ford for the Dial of Destiny?
Yes.
Where they put the young mask over the top of him, and it was all kind of distorted.
That's what that is.
It
sounds hilarious.
Yeah.
It's Google it. It's haunting, but it's like this.
It is haunting. Yeah, it does look like that. Yeah. The glasses don't save him. The helmet possibly gives him a shot at looking like Maverick.
That's what I was going to say with the helmet.
If you cover up 90% of it, it's bang on.
Yeah.
Actually,
the eyes and the eyebrows aren't the biggest culprit here. It's from below. I'm presuming it's got swap out forearms or unless they've just photoshopped.
That's Photoshop because look at all the replacement hands.
Yeah, well, exactly, and you can't imagine they're giving you swap out forearms. So
he looks like he just had a big shart.
Looks like a disgruntled
giant. Yeah, he looks like he just sharted.
And as if that wasn't enough, they brought another version out. What scene did he roll around with a dirty great dagger?
When he was doing that's probably for when he was doing the motorcycle scenes and stuff.
No, he was making a sandwich there at one stage with Penny.
Yeah. It's the most bizarre accessory I've ever seen.
It was from,
oh my god!
One,
I just
one
saw
of the
that.
deleted scenes where he just used to hang around the back of the bar and wait for people to come out for a piss. And he used to mug them.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah. It's the greatest accessory I've seen since the bowling Rambo.
Oh yeah.
Was it the ultrasound photo that came with him? Yeah.
That's it. Yeah, it's just fucking awful. Like, and the thing is, so the one before, what was that? It was F-17.
F-18. Is that the two?
That's okay. Well, that's
the two planes that he
F-18,
flies. Yeah.
Okay.
right?
F-18 Interceptor is the modern plane he flies.
So I took that as
F-14
kind of their, there's been ones in subsequent order, and I was thinking,
you weren't
what the
joking
fuck was
then.
so bad about F-15 to 17?
I want to see
that these were the
F1. That's
best
what you
in
were saying.
Do you know that scene in what is it? Is it Alien Resurrection where they're just in jars and they're just like, kill me? They're like that.
Yeah. Like all the twisted earlier versions of like cloning and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair,
brilliant.
Paul,
you thought there was
you didn't have to
17
pay us $20 for this comment. It's brilliant. Looks like Jim from The Office, US version. A little bit, if he was hit with a baseball bat, yes.
That's
that one on the right. On the other one, the really ugly one, I'm not helping, but the other one, the F-18, on the right, I can see. But
Are they two different head sculpts? They look the same.
They do
Just
look like two
angled the
different
right,
head
one on the
sculpts.
right
Yeah,
up,
yeah.
like 2 degrees, but
Well, he
They're
probably
both
has the
bad.
knife because he's heading out to a rumble. He's gonna, hey, the sharks and the jets.
yeah.
Let's bring out our
you.
switchblades.
it's just so,
So
bad.
yeah,
He looks
yeah.
closer to the Maverick age than he does Top Gun. He was really young.
Yeah,
in Top Gun.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, he does fly the F-14 in both planes though.
He does. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
but
the
like
one
he doesn't.
finds in
He
the hangar.
he doesn't. Even I don't think the jacket's right though. I think his jacket
No.
was actually. A
That's
black
why they
jacket.
give you both, I think. Oh, you
Yeah,
mean
he was
that's
in
not
the
right
black
to Top
outfit,
Gun?
wasn't he?
Yeah,
from
do you know? Well, like this. Okay, he looks too old to be in Maverick here, and I don't
Yeah.
think he wears that jacket in either
No.
movie. Because
In Maverick, he wears that leather one down
He
there.
has
Yeah,
the
and then-
leather
and-
one,
yeah,
yeah, and he
Maverick
has
is-
that
it's
in,
a black one with all the
in
patches
the
on
original
it.
Top Gun as well. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't
And
remember
in
this
neither
green
film
one at all, no.
did he have terrible reconstructive surgery, so it's full of inaccuracies.
This
No,
is. Do you know what this
no.
is? This is Vanilla Sky. That's what.
Yes.
Oh man,
That's it.
Yeah,
that
that's
is.
what it is. Yeah.
Well, that is a deep
Yeah.
cut.
This is.
I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
great
That
movie.
is it.
Do you know what's funny? Actually, randomly, our local cinema this month is doing Back to the 80s. So they're showing like Back to the Future and Rocky and stuff. And last week,
Nice.
myself and my girlfriend went to see Top Gun, the original 1986 Top Gun. I'd never seen it in a movie before, and like thoroughly enjoyed it. The funny thing
Yeah.
was, right, there was this family. There was it must have been like a mother, a father, and a granny. The granny had to have been like 80, and then like 3 10-year-old kids, right? And we're watching, and they're Kelly McGillis and
Oh.
Maverick are having this big fight, and
Get
it's
on.
like, I can't, it's like, I just don't want anyone to let in that room to know that I've fallen for you. And then you hear boom, 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 and we look at each other and burst out laughing. The kids are glued to it, and the granny bursts out laughing because she's like, "Oh, we forgot about this part." Yeah, but they're showing Maverick on Saturday, so that's pretty cool. Get to see the two of them.
Oh, nice. Yeah. That's fun.
And this guy won't be in either of them.
No, nowhere near.
No.
It's so bad.
So
Yeah.
that did amuse us this week.
Hmm.
That was great.
Did you
And the
see
more
there was one, some company, third party company made the flight suit for the Dark Star. It's called Test Pilot. For the scene in Maverick when he's at the start when he's trying to hit like Mach 9, and that looked okay. Yeah. I actually it did. I'm thinking about that one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. This is not the one to go for.
No,
definitely not. Definitely not.
There's
looks like something from Robot Chicken.
Yeah, it does.
There's a good amount of there's a good amount of third-party Tom Cruise figures. And he doesn't make licensed figures, right? Because of his religion or whatever. But
Scientology.
How come? There's not that many third-party Mel Gibsons, and it's the same reason with him is because of the religion. But like, I feel like there's way more third-party Tom Cruise than there is Mel Gibson.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
So I wonder why are people more scared of Gibson? They're like, this motherfucker's gonna get us. If they make a third party,
he's pretty scary.
Yeah.
I always just think of Mel Gibson when he's in South Park, and I just think that's probably exactly what he's like. Oh, Google it; it's fucking fantastic. But I always just imagine him to be like that in real life, so that's probably why people don't want to mess with him.
He's a crazy motherfucker.
Yeah, he's fantastic.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, there's been quite a few Mad Max third parties recently, haven't there?
Yeah.
The original ones, and there's been a few Braveheart custom and things like that. But beyond that,
there's plenty of stuff before he went all mad and racist. Like there's that period.
There's some lethal weapons
rigs and stuff like that. Yeah. And then as soon as off the deep end.
I want a Patriot figure. That's what I'm hoping for.
Oh, someone made a really amazing custom one, Patriot with wooden,
an expensive one.
Wooden
I think
weapons
I saw it.
and all that stuff. Yeah, you look like $1,000. Yeah, easily.
Yeah.
But nobody's done an affordable.
You can't get it
version.
over. It's illegal.
Awkward silence. Right. Okay. So that was it for coming soon. So this is it, guys. We're going to launch the competition. So again, Lane Kramer, who was on earlier, thank you very much, Lane, has very generously donated a SH Figure Arts Carnage from Venom at the Carnage. So what we're going to do now is there's going to be a slide with 3 multiple choice questions on it, all based around the episode 1 of OFAC that was broadcast pretty much 4 years to the week that we're in now. Basically, what we're going to do is I've asked the guys to keep a look in the chat. The first person to give us the correct 3 letters, the answers to the questions will win the prize. So we're going to kind of go into our group discussion about a few bits and pieces. So obviously, get your thinking caps on, have a look at the questions, and good luck. Okay. So I'll read them out. So question 1, Pete's new this week on OFAC 001 was his new puppy. What is his name? Is it A, Sam, B, Max, C, Ben, D, Dave? Question 2, which Netflix TV series did the panel discuss on OFAC 001? Was it A, Stranger Things, B, Cobra Kai, C, The Dark Crystal, or D, Black Mirror? And question 3, what's the total run time of OFAC 001? Was it 1 hour, 2 minutes, 23 seconds? Was it 1 hour, 12 minutes, 45 seconds? Was it 1 hour, 6 minutes, 58 seconds? Or was it 1 hour, 20 minutes, 31 seconds? So I'll just leave that on screen while we're chatting. So when I was thinking about episode 100 and kind of what we could discuss, I think, as I said, we've been running for almost exactly 4 years now. So 25 shows a year. So that's not bad. We've kind of missed like 1 a year on average, with postponements and things like that. So that's not bad going. Just wanted to kind of throw it out to the panel to have people's thoughts on kind of if they think back to how they were collecting 4 years ago, how they saw the hobby 4 years ago, and how they feel that their collection has changed over those 4 years, how they've changed the way they collect, just generally to see how a lot's happened pre-COVID. and all that sort of thing. It's a different world now. Like, how do you feel the hobby has changed in that time? And so, whoever wants to go first, just shout out. Thomas, have you been?
No pressure.
Yeah, come on. No one was talking.
All right,
have you been collecting for 4 years to start with? I suppose
I think I've kind of been collecting fairly regularly for at least 4 years. I've had a few figures that I purchased years and years ago. That, I mean, for example, like I didn't realize it, but I was a big fan. I'm a big fan of anime and manga, and when they did the what was that movie, Astro Boy, when they did that movie, then I was looking for an Astro Boy figure, and I happened to see this one on eBay, and I purchased it, and I didn't even realize that it was Hot Toys, but that was the first figure that I actually recall really having, and prior to that, I was actually kind of actively involved in doing more customizable things like the ball jointed figures and things like that. So as I was when I kind of transitioned into this 1/6 scale hobby, it was just kind of like a nice, refreshing little change for me. And I don't know if I saw it necessarily going anywhere particularly. I just saw cool stuff. As a matter of fact, I was still in the process of recovering from my kidney surgery. So it was kind of like I was ordering because I was kind of confined to the house, and so the only enjoyment that I was getting was getting these packages in the mail, and so it was like Christmas every day after a while. So I started purchasing figures, and so I think I want this, think I want that, and as I kind of developed a little bit more, I'd probably say, at least for the last year and a half, 2 years, I feel like I've really been starting more of curating an actual collection. And that's what I enjoy. I mean, I do still have kind of random taste. There's some things I purchased that may not make sense to others, but I go by what my eyes tell me I want. Not necessarily is this part of a series. I'm a little bit of a completionist, but I also don't feel obligated. So like if I had an opportunity, just like my Guardians of the Galaxy, I would have liked to have, the only one I'm really missing is Drax, but I never really liked that Drax figure. So I said, well, when they did this third version, I said, hey, if they put this Drax out, I'll get it, and that will kind of get my last figure in there that I want. And so I kind of have changed my views a little bit, and I'm going more towards getting the representative of that character as opposed to a representative of that movie. Like, for example, like if you look at Justin, he actually has so many figures that he can actually have figures for Avengers, for the first Avengers, and then he can have a group of figures for the second and the third. And so he's able to do that. For me, I don't need representations of the movie. I just want that figure. And sometimes I want multiple figures. Like I have become a big fan of Loki, so I think I have all of the Lokis that they put out for the TV series. We have a winner.
Yes, we have. Caffeinated Comic Fan, congratulations. The correct answer was B, Max, C, the Dark Crystal, and C, 1 hour, 6 minutes, 58. So, brilliant. Well done.
Yay.
Good lad.
Good job.
Yeah, so if you message myself or Ian, and we will work with Lane to because I believe you're in the UK. So we'll work with Lane to get that shipped over and over to you. So yeah, again, brilliant. Congratulations, Caffeinated Comic fan. Brilliant.
Yeah, awesome. Congratulations, bud.
Yeah.
But yeah. So I mean, I've changed. That's how I've personally evolved.
Yeah.
But I still go by what my eyes tell me, and if my eyes tell me, like, for example, some people really love the Street Fighters because they played the game. I have terrible hand-eye coordination, but I know the figures. And so I never really played the game because I'd probably lose every round I was in, but I like the figures and because I do remember the video game. And so if I see something that catches my eye, I'll consider it. And if it's something that's kind of like just fringe, I'm kind of like, meh, I don't need that, or I don't need these figures for this thing. That's for something else. But if I want something that, but I also work on my own figures. Like I have my own X-Men that I've actually kit bashed or worked on myself. So, and these are the representatives that I have. Now, if they come up with a version from the movies when they start making those, that really moves me, I may add that to the collection. But I don't feel any obligation to kind of stick with a particular line or to say I've got to have every figure in the line. But yeah, so I've been modifying my taste over the years and modifying some of my choices, because before I would just spin willy-nilly, and now it's kind of like, nah, I need to be a little bit more selective.
Cool, thanks for that. Shane, what got any thoughts on this?
It's a good question. So, like 4 years ago this time, I would have had 6 Hot Toys.
Yeah,
I still remember what they were as well. Yeah, well, it's funny though, because 2 of them Hot Toys I bought in like 2009. You know what I mean? The MMS 67 and 68, the Joker, and the Batman from The Dark Knight, but the Batman Begins style of suit that he has at the start. So they were just bought and then stored.
The question for you, sorry to jump in there, where did you come across those? Because that was like 2 years before I even knew about Hot Toys.
eBay.
How did you
stumble? It was eBay, yeah.
Okay.
And again, the date is either 2009, 2010, I think. It was because I liked The Dark Knight so much and I liked Batman Begins so much. It was like, I want to look for a decent Batman.
Right. Okay.
And I'd never heard of Hot Toys. And I was like trawling the internet, and I would have eBayed a lot. I think that's even pre-Sideshow. And I came across them on eBay, and then maybe I found a Hot Toys site. I don't even know if Hot Toys had a site, but the pictures on them were like, this just looks so good. Like, I remember being blown away specifically by the Joker at the time, because it was very good for its time. And some of my friend's uncle actually had, I think they had a Terminator at the time or something like that as well. And so it was kind of like I'd seen them, and they were like pretty damn good. Like, so it was around that time. I'm just saying 2008 would have been when The Dark Knight came out, so it was obviously after that. Yeah. But it was like I was still in college at the stage, like, you know. So I think it was actually it was after college. It was shortly after college. Anyway, in around then. But I didn't buy anything then for a long time, because it was like, okay, I was just new to my career, and it was like I had other priorities, and I was moving houses every year. It was like, I want to display these. They were too good to not display, so I didn't like that they were just stored in the box. So then 4 years ago, then, like, you know, I was just coming home from living in Abu Dhabi and a bit of extra cash, and I knew that, like, you know, I was moving in with the girlfriend when I came home, and we'd have a place, and I could buy a cabinet and stuff like that. And while I was in Abu Dhabi, I bought like the Mark 6 Iron Man, which is still on the shelf behind me, and the I got the Iron Spider, which has since moved on, and what else? I think the Black Panther, which has since moved on, and I think, was that it? Deadpool, which is still here as well. And I kind of other random things about it. A masterpiece, Skywarp, one of Transformers. Thought that was very impressive, and Oshima dropship, so it wasn't entirely Hot Toys. But I think obviously I've significantly more. I buy figures more regularly now, but I do think I'm probably more disciplined now than I was then. Because it's kind of like when I buy figures, I'm kind of buying them that I'll keep them long term. Obviously I've sold figures and stuff like that to try and upgrade, or maybe you just fall out of love with a figure or whatever like that. But I kind of want to, if I'm purchasing something that it's kind of there for a few years, or maybe some things I'll probably never sell, So I think I guess it's I definitely buy a lot more than I did back then. It's because of the display space, and now I have a spot where I can display stuff. Cause it's not going to end up in a box, but at the same time, I suppose search out deals more. I don't really buy from Sideshow anymore. I was then, and I'm not now. Obviously, so buying more, but at the same time, kind of going, is this a triple threat? Does this fit in? Is this going to stay long term? And you don't always get it right. I definitely don't always get it right, but
no.
Yeah, no. It's no. I probably buy less than a lot of other people. And there's nothing wrong with buying more or less, whatever. But you have to find your own flow and rhythm, I suppose.
Yeah. I think I see you as a very very considered collector, and you've got as you say, the triple threat. You've got to feel really strongly about it. Whereas I could be a bit more fickle sometimes. I can just pick something up just because I kind of just want to see what it's like in hand, and I might only have a 20% chance of keeping it. But you can
and sometimes
move
I do
stuff
that.
on and
there's definitely I try and I think kind of the line I take is I don't want to pick something up just because it looks cool. Because lots of stuff, so many of these things look cool.
Oh,
but I have definitely they got the Iron Patriot there. Is okay. It fits into my endgame display. It looks great with Rocket. It was the perfect companion for Rocket because I was never going to buy all the Guardians of the Galaxy, and they were in that scene together. But just that style of mech suit, I always think is cool. But that was definitely a bit of an indulgence. It's not necessarily a triple threat. I suppose it could be, but it just looks bloody cool.
Yeah, and it's going to stay. Yeah. Oh, thanks, Shane. Yeah, brilliant. And Eddie, I suppose you probably had the most interesting journey because you kind of were, I guess, 4 years you were 1/6, and now you've kind of gone in. I think you always collected smaller scale, but then you kind of went statues, and now you've kind of the Joker's brought you back into 1/6. Is that kind of correct?
Yeah. So I feel like I'm still just trying to find what I'm collecting. I buy and sell all the fucking time. But in 2019, I just started collecting figures in general. I think 2018 I started Funko Pops, and in 19 I started dabbling in 12 scale like Legends and SHF and all kinds of stuff in 2019. And then towards the end of 2019, I got into Hot Toys, and I still have 1/6 figure from that time. I have the Dread Pirate Roberts, the Wesley from Princess Bride from I think it's Quantum Mechanics. I think that was the name of the company.
Yeah, QMX. Yeah.
So I still have that figure from my first year of collecting 1/6 scale, and I had a ton of other Hot Toys. So I was transitioning from 1/12 to 1/6. And then in the last couple of years, I started getting into statues. It was probably the middle of 2020 or the end of 2020. So I've had a huge, I've gone through all kind. And then now I'm kind of going back. Now I'm realizing, I miss a lot of the 1/12 stuff and 1/6. And statues, this is the biggest change for me, noticed from the pandemic and everything. I cannot collect super expensive statues anymore. I can't keep up with them. Even having a couple here and there, and I know that people always say you could skip out on 1/6, save money over time, and get a statue instead of buying multiple 1/6. I like the hobby. For me is it gives me something to do throughout the month. So if I'm just saving money, towards like a big piece, it's not really fun for me. I like getting new figures in and checking things out, and I'm tempted by everything. So I'm starting to realize now, like, I'd rather collect 1/12 and 1/6 than stay with statues. I still have a couple statues, and I'll still get more in the future, but I'm definitely learning that like 1/6 and 1/12 is funner for me. So I've been all over the place for the last 4 years, but I'm still getting 1/6, and then like you said with the Joker, Inart is like sparked a new love for 1/6 for me. I really love what Inart is doing, so that's fun. And then Hot Toys is still fun too, but I'm realizing it's more of the niche movie stuff that excites me about Hot Toys, like the new John Wick stuff that's coming out, or like even the indie, even though it's the new
and the One Piece stuff you like.
Yeah, well. One Piece. Like I'm more. I don't really get as excited for Marvel or even Star Wars that much anymore. Like I do like the prequel stuff, but I'm noticing that like I like the niche stuff a lot more, and that excites me more.
Yeah, it's kind of great because it's sort of brought you back to collecting weekly as well, because you were on the show and then you kind of went off with John's gang, the statue gang for a little while. And now we've got you back. You've returned to the nest, so it's good to see you back on collecting weekly. I
went through that you weren't midlife crisis, but it was mid YouTube.
Yeah, exactly.
Where you go, I had to go expand my horizons, and then came back to I've been having a lot of fun being back with CW as well too. Like that's where I started on YouTube 4 years ago, actually. Like I think it was Christmas 2019 that I started with CW. So it's been a lot. It feels like it's been a year too, not 4 years. So
you've been picking up some. Is it the NECA stuff, the Predators and
I've been. See, that's another thing with 1/6.
Great.
I got into it late, so I feel like some of the older movie stuff that I really like, they don't make new versions of very much. And
the aliens and
so I want to go back. I don't want to go back and get a Hot Toy Big Chat because of all the issues it's had, and some of the older Predators and stuff. Same thing. Like they're not the best figures. They're okay. A couple of them are pretty good. So, I've been getting the NECA like Predator from the first movie.
Yeah, they're great. I had quite a big collection of the NECA alien stuff, and they were really good. I just kind of, to me, the sweet spot is 1/6, and I kind of dabble in the smaller stuff. I had a lot of the aliens line. The Queen's really good, the Alien Queen. And I had some Mezco stuff. But ultimately, I always come back to 1/6, and I tend to sell stuff on like that. But the NECA stuff's great.
I'm hoping that.
But even some of the alien stuff, the old expensive stuff goes for massive, big money, like Vasquez or, really quite expensive now.
I'm hoping that now that they're starting to dabble in older stuff again, like Robocop and Back to the Future. So I'm hoping maybe we'll see new Predators and aliens and stuff like that, and maybe a new Arnold.
Yeah, I mean, I've always loved NECA. I know that Marco had his issues around his Turtles set, but I've always collected NECA stuff, and I'm currently collecting all of the Universal Monster stuff because that's a great line. And they're really good figures. So I'm up to date on that. I'm not collecting the black and white ones as well. I've got all the color versions. They're really nice. They're all just in their boxes, to be honest. I haven't got anywhere to display them, but I'm such a massive Universal Monsters sort of fan that I needed to get collect those. So hopefully one day they'll be out on display. But they're really good at doing what they're doing at their scale.
I think also I've noticed that. So I'm very vocal that I have problems with all of the shit that happens in the community. I'm like always making fun of and talking shit, and like I've noticed that even though I have my issues with like 1/12 and 1/6 scale like Hot Toy collectors and stuff, I much rather like those communities than I do the statue ones. Statue communities and channels aren't that fun to me anymore. It's much funner to talk about 1/6 scale and 12 scale, even though they all, everything has its ups and downs, but like it's funner over here. So
yeah, you're right. I never really got, I love John. Don't get me wrong, he's a great guy, and I love, enjoyed him on Collecting Weekly. But for me, I always found the statue thing a bit of a hard watch because I might be wrong. It might be my interpretation, but I always felt it was always a little bit kind of like they looked down on 6 scale. It was a bit of an exclusive club, and obviously it comes with a price. And some of those Prime 1 statues, they're beautiful, but they might be $3,000, and that's big money. And we're sitting here struggling to think, like, how am I going to pay for my next Hot Toys pre-order? And it's £300. It's not 3,000. And if you've got that kind of money, all the best to you and everything. But it's just something that I couldn't really, and I didn't like what I perceived to be a little bit of elitism sometimes. But that might just be
definitely.
me. But
there's definitely some of that there.
Yeah.
You hate to see it.
But
it's funny that you mentioned
we love
the price thing, because I thought that was funny when Shane mentioned it with the. What is it? The Praetorian Guard, the one from season 3 Mando. Like $225 is cheap.
Yeah.
But like it's not cheap if you think about it. Like anything in like the low hundreds is actually cheap for a 1/6 scale. But because Hot Toys has gotten so pricey, like $225 is actually pretty cheap for a Hot Toy now. So
because it's their cheapest figure. Yeah. Exactly.
Pennywise, like fine, it might be rooted hair, 2 sculpts, and the diorama and everything, but it's $600.
Yeah, and then I love the Inart stuff, but that stuff is pricey now too. So it's like, everything's expensive. That's the biggest change for the hobby for me since the pandemic. Is like, I feel like we got like 4 years of inflation in 1 year in like the last 2 years.
Yeah, I mean it's been tough, like for obviously all aspects of life, and this is a real, we're in a really privileged position to be able to spend our money on these figures and this hobby, and but again, even then you start to feel the pinch with the cost of living and stuff going up. So it's and that clearly has forced us to be a little bit more discerning about what we buy, everything. So, Mr. Ian, let's hear your tale. I know your collection's gone through lots of remaps over the last 4 years.
So I got into this through Fig Arts. I bought. Do you remember Metal Gear? Is it Revengeance? When I bought that, it came with a Raiden figure, and I was like, this thing's fucking amazing, it's so detailed. And then when I googled about buying some more, Hot Toys came up. I thought, ooh, these look nice. These look very nice. And soon got rid of the Raiden because that was just shocking compared to the stuff I was seeing. So I was like, yep, okay, that's me in 6 scale. And then I managed to convince the missus that I need a Detolf, and then it just spiraled from there, really. But when I first started collecting, figures were a lot cheaper, like a lot cheaper. You could get, things like, because I'm a bit of a magpie, like I like a broken figure. I will go on eBay, and if something says it's faulty, I'll have a look at it and go, can I fix it? If I can, fantastic. But there was a lot more. Yeah, there was a lot more opportunity back then to pick things up a bit cheaper when there isn't so much of that anymore. Yeah. But I think I'm kind of now getting to the point where I'm coming to the end where I'm looking at my collection and I'm thinking I could thin it down and just keep a few bits and pieces and be a lot more selective over what I want, purely because the price now, I'm just getting priced out. And it's not because I can't afford it, it's just because I can't justify it. I kind of look at
exactly.
it and I go,
you're not comfortable with paying that money.
No, you look at it and you kind of go, yeah, that's a lot. when we look at some of the prices that we spoke about today, I kind of go through it and go, like Robocop. I want that Robocop, and I'm struggling with 330, where I'm going, that's a lot. And then you probably got postage on top of that as well, so it's not 330. It's more than that.
No, exactly.
But you kind of look at stuff, and that's why, like, over the pandemic and stuff, I was buying a lot, and my collection really grew.
Yeah.
But now I'm kind of going, actually, I've got the Star Wars stuff I like. I really like Mando, and I've got stuff from that I really like, and I think that's fine. But I've not felt the need to start picking up like Bo-Katan and then start picking up like Gideon and stuff like that. And then when I look at my original trilogy, I've pretty much, I've got my Empire Han, I've got my Empire Luke, I've got my Return of the Jedi stuff. I'm quite happy with it. I don't feel the need to kind of upgrade it. When C-3PO turns up, that's probably my Return of the Jedi stuff done. And kind of, I've got the Port Scale Vader, so when they announced the last couple of Vaders, I was like, I don't see. I've got the Court Scale. I don't need.
Yeah.
I don't need it, and I think because I've always like fucked around with my figures as well, like, and getting a printer and stuff really changed how I collected, because I was like, well, these 3 accessories you can only get with the next edition of this particular figure. Like Mando was a perfect example. Like, I had a Series 2 Mando from the moment it was on telly, because I could just print off the bits I needed. In the space of like, I think 3 weeks, I'd sold enough knee pads and thigh plates to pay the printer off. Like, I made the money back on the printer. So really, like, printing stuff and painting stuff, being able to mod figures and stuff like that has always been such a massive part of collecting, and that started to just stop. I don't get anywhere near as much stuff as I used to, but because everything's so expensive, people can't afford it, which is a shame. And then when you look at stuff, you kind of, I used to take the piss when people used to be like, well, how do I take the clothes off this, or how do I do this really minor thing? And I'm like, because back then it was like, the figures weren't that expensive. So you'd be like, just fucking grow a pair of bollocks and do it. It's fine. If you can take clothes off yourself, you can take clothes off a figure. It shouldn't be any different. But now, like, I kind of get it when people are going, well, I've just paid 400 quid for this. I don't really want to have to trim a little bit off of this. And you kind of go, yeah, I get it now, because that head sculpt now is like 130 quid. It's mad. Like, the collecting has massively changed in the 4 years. Like, I think I'll always keep my hand in, and I'll always be buying 6 scale, but I don't think I'm going to. I don't think I'm going to be anywhere near as active as I used to be. I think it's just going to be as and when.
Yeah.
You guys,
cool.
You guys in the UK, I want to say overseas every time because it bugs Shane. So now I want to say
we're all
overseas.
just one. We're just one.
You guys,
one race.
You guys don't have like a sideshow out there, huh? It's not as easy.
No. Yeah, it isn't. It isn't. And that does me in as well.
That's funny to think about. Americans really don't give a fuck unless it's like about us. Because I'm thinking in all these past 4 years, when we talk about sideshow and we talk about like how things has changed for us, it's changed even more significantly for you guys because you guys have to get it from us. So like, it's even more expensive. It's harder. And then like Ian's saying, like less stuff is more is on eBay, like parted out and stuff. So you don't have that much to get off eBay anymore or off secondhand selling, and so like it's really changed for you
for
guys.
a time. But like we don't have to get it free off Sorry, do you want to go first, or Ian?
I think we're going to say the same thing about not getting it from Sideshow. So there was a little period, probably during the pandemic, when the Sideshow prices and the Hong Kong prices were about the same. I don't know why, it just worked out that they were about the same, and then I figured that buying from Sideshow, I'd get Sideshow points and it would eventually work itself out cheaper. But that's flipped again and gone back to how it used to be, where getting stuff from Hong Kong is so much more cheaper than Sideshow. So a lot of people in the UK won't go to Sideshow. They'll just go straight to Hong Kong. They buy from resellers.
Yeah.
Because
okay.
And then, but you'll have UK-based sellers, but normally their prices are pretty reasonable, but they don't get their stuff in for such a long time.
And people like people in Ireland, like we, I can't speak for everyone, but my process was, I ordered from Sideshow initially, because when I found them, I was living in Abu Dhabi, because that's tax free. When I ordered it, it got delivered over there and didn't have any import charges. But as soon as I moved home and those first few orders arrived, I realized I was getting stung with customs. So just in a nutshell, everything that I buy from outside the European Union that crosses our border and comes in, worth over €100, which is nothing when in a Hot Toys game, is subjected to about 30% tax, customs, import. And that's the price of the figure and the shipping as well. So if your total cost for an Iron Man is think about it, an Iron Man is $400 for a die cast. The cheapest I'm going to get that from Sideshow shipped is another $50. That's $450. You add another 30% onto that, you're talking $600. They are not worth that. So after a few orders getting burnt, I was like, no, look, this is an expensive enough hobby. I need to find out companies that can ship me this stuff cheaper. Tried the TW route for a while. Sometimes I did get them cheaper, and I actually saved a lot of money. But then eventually, won't get into it, got burnt, and I was like, right, okay. But that even worked out better for me as well, because I was one of the few people to get a refund, not a store credit bullshit, an actual refund, and got my money for the Inart Joker. I went to Lion Rock Toys, and now I have a good relationship with them. So the reason I go with them is because when they ship stuff to me, I get no customs charges the way they ship it. And also, I get a good price because they're giving me free worldwide shipping, and I come to them with a price and they beat it. And I've been very transparent about that. So I've kind of hustled for that bit of a... But it's when you take away the price, $50 Sideshow are going to charge me for the shipping. Customs, which is an absolute kick in the nuts, right? Even taking away them is important. And even if you take, like, say if you're not a YouTuber, you're not a content creator, you're not getting any, sweet deal or whatever like that. Over here, really, like, people in Ireland are starting to find reputable Hong Kong-based resellers. They're out there. Tim Cent's been doing it for ages. It's well known that, like, if you order for Tim Cent in Ireland, he might mark the value on it, but you might get charged like $10 customs as opposed to fucking $100. You know what I mean? So, man, the Sideshow, I ordered a figure from Sideshow the other day, and the only reason I did is because I've been playing their games, Eddie. Their Mr. Sir Sideshow, or signing up to Bestember, or signing up to Spooktacular, because you get $5, $10, $15. Yeah. And over the space of like a year, 18 months, I've got $155, which will expire at the end of the month or whatever. So it's like, okay, I have to buy something. That will cover the shipping, that will cover the customs, and take a bit off the figure. So I got the Catwoman from, you know what I'm saying? From Dark Knight, but I can't buy from them. I can't.
No, and
that's not Sideshow's fault. That's not Sideshow's fault. It's the European Union.
A big player in the big, particularly with the Inart, because obviously people were looking for places to buy those and Sideshow weren't stocking things like that because they weren't officially licensed in these territories. So I think 1/6 kit, I've been using them for long time. Used to buy a lot of bits and pieces, like head sculpts, bodies, things like that, and they've always been fantastic. And now they've become a lot more well known because people have been ordering their Inart stuff through them. And kit is fantastic. Like 1/6 kit is a fantastic site, and now all of my I used to use Toys Buying Agent a lot, but I found that they used to only charge, I think, a 20% deposit, and they used to ship quite quickly. The recent ones I've had, they want to charge you 50% up front, and also, there's been a lot more delay between what they call first batch and second batch. So I switched to the 1/6 kit, and they've been fantastic. Like, they got the droid pack, with the R5, the pit droid, and the other one. They got it day and date with the Hong Kong resellers. You know, so, and that was my first experience of a pre-order with 1/6 kit. So, you know, I'm happy that I've got all my pre-orders with them now, and that's where the two Inarts are coming from. You know, and I think when you say it's difficult to get figures, once you're in the hobby and you're in the Facebook groups and you kind of know, then it's not that bad. You know, and a lot of my collection is second-hand figures. Bought through the Facebook groups.
I think we trick
like
ourselves into thinking that after a while. You try and buy anything else and you don't have to go how easy it is to buy stuff, you know. It only becomes easy because you know kind of the tricks. Yeah. But
sure, that's what I'm saying. There's still
think about any other
fence
hobby,
around
it.
Not,
it's not like you can just wander in.
No, it's not. It's definitely still got a dark arts feel to it outside of the US and Asia, and you know, say once you know, I stumbled upon the Hot Toys. I was looking for indie stuff, and I just happened to find the DX05. Now, obviously, things have moved on a hell of a lot since then, but I was absolutely blown away by it, and I couldn't believe I'd never heard of them. But I suppose I just wasn't in that thing, you know, in that hobby at the time, and obviously now, you know, been in it for 12 years, you know where to go, you know the people, you know the good people to buy from, the bad people. And even eBay, some people really hate it, but I've got some really good bargains off of there as well. You just got to be savvy, know what you want to pay for something. You know, and I'm always been happy buying secondhand figures, and like Ian, not necessarily broken figures, although I will turn my hand to fixing stuff, but very much, you know, I don't mind if a figure's loose. I don't mind if it's missing accessories, stuff like that. And, you know, it's all about the figure. And you know, I've picked up some bargains. I think for me, the big difference has been a positive one. That there's a lot more, like the huge expanse of third-party companies in the last 4 years. You know, that it was difficult to get a lot of any franchises outside of Star Wars, Marvel, and DC. And, you know, I kit bashed a lot of figures and things like that. But, you know, the explosion, whether it's a COVID thing, you know, because a lot more money went into the hobby then, a lot of new collectors came in, probably drove the prices up because people were buying this stuff and they were like, oh, we've got a new market. But at the same time, there was this explosion of these third-party companies. All right, and some of them are shit, but there's some real gems that are coming out. So Toys have been excellent. Mars Toys now, kind of the new kids on the block. And so that, for me, I think is the massive change, that all of a sudden there are all these you know, companion figures and stuff for the mainstream license figures that can really flesh out your collection nicely. And you know, I think that's been great. The prices have become a bit crazy, and I still, I'm not saying I limit myself, but I do still try and, if I can, to kind of self-finance the hobby. So I still do part stuff out, although it's not as lucrative as it used to be. You know, I make CCF sabers. I sell a few of those. I might sell 1 or 2 of those a month. You know, I do some custom stuff for people, make indie whips and stuff like that. So where I can, I try and, you know, generate some income from the hobby so that it's not all coming off of my wage packet. And obviously that helps to justify it to the wife. I mean, you know, I might overplay how much is self-financed, but it helps a little bit. And it might just be the difference between me picking up a figure 1 month and not, if I can sell a couple of lightsabers or something like that. So it's good to be able to do that. But yeah, things have changed a lot, and yeah.
No, go on. You go on. Sorry, I just
I was just going to say. No, yeah, I know. Yeah, all I was going to say is that you know, it's the collection's become a lot more focused. I've cut some lines. You know, I got rid of all my Marvel, all my DC. It's very much Star Wars, 80s, things like that, and that provides me with you know, at least a little bit of a streamlined. So like with you, Shane, you can quite happily go, that figure looks great, but I don't collect that, so I can just, you know, like, I wasn't interested at all in the Hot Toys 3.0 Joker and all the farce around that and everything like that. I was just kind of like, yeah, I can just step away from this, you know. So, yeah, the focus is probably the main difference.
Hey,
go ahead, so. Yeah, you nailed it, mate, with your.
I picked the right name
with your podcast.
Just
definitely.
Going back to Eddie there, like to give you an example. So like during the week there, like so I mentioned kind of an app on a website called adverts.ie a lot. It's a buy sell trade app website. It's completely free, no fees. It's brilliant, like. And there's sometimes there's always Hot Toys on it. You know, there's some that's just been there for ages that you don't want, but then every week there's something new or it goes up there, and sometimes there's some, what people would define as grails and stuff like that. I've got some beautiful pieces on it. The T800 Terminator from Terminator 1 for a really good price. The Alec Guinness Obi-Wan for $300. I'm converting that over to whatever is in Europe, but like genuinely good pieces that you want in pristine condition, like from serious collectors who just want to move them on. But what I'm noticing, again? It's on adverts.ie, but you won't be able to access it from America.
Oh, really?
I don't think so, because I remember when I was in Sri Lanka, I was trying to check it out just to see if I could even access it. But
what if I used like the VPN?
VPN probably, yeah. But then you'd be taking the things I want, so don't. I'm only joking now. Give it a shot. There might be stuff there that you want, but I'll just give you an example. Like, so what I'm noticing now is a lot of maybe the COVID collectors that came in that maybe were doing a lot like of collecting when they were bored or whatever. And face it, if you were in the game anyway, you were collecting more because it was a hobby you could do from home. But maybe all the people that started, some of those people now are just obviously selling their figures. So there's some really, really, really good figures out there for cheap. So I had this experience during the week, which was very, very positive, where the Mech Test Tony 2.0, the one with dummy and the Mark II faceplate and the little Tony Stark had a heart, that special edition one. It had been on my wish list for a long time, and I'd nearly kind of got it off the wish list, but I saw this guy was selling it, and he was saying it was brand new in box, whatever. So I messaged him, and I was like, right, he's selling it for €220, right? So I messaged him and said, I've a copy-paste message that I send to anyone that I'm buying off. I was like, right, does it come with the shipper? Not that I care, I just wanted to get it in one piece. Does it come with the art box? Is there anything broken? Is it complete? Was it, posed up? Was it ever used? Does everything work? Blah, blah. And it was like he didn't want to answer the question, so I said, right, man, tell you what, I'll ship it to you and I'll pay for the shipping. You look at it. If you're happy with it, send me the 220. And I was like, that's a win-win for me. Yeah. So he sent it to me.
Yeah. Jesus.
It's perfect. Now, he said he bought it off Sideshow, Eddie. Right? Now, I didn't even haggle with the price. I didn't even haggle with them. He said something like, he just... he's I don't know, he has to sell, like it sounded like he's going through some stuff, so I didn't want to haggle him, especially that he was being so nice and genuine about it. So I just paid him the money. Grand, no problem. The thing's perfect. The lights work, everything. It's brand new. It came in the Sideshow box, like, the tape was wrapped around it. Wow. But my point is, Eddie, right, that's $305 on Sideshow, but I wouldn't get it for $305. Right, I would get it for $461.50. That's what with the customs and the everything. So I paid €220. So instead of $461.50, I got it for $235. That's nice. Half price. Do you know what I mean? But so a lot of people just want to get rid of their stuff, and it's perfect. So it's and you see that in buy sell trade groups. You see it in eBay. Well, eBay not, maybe you hit and miss, but people are dumping stuff. So if you wait long enough, sometimes I'm like, I really want that figure. I'll probably go to waitlist. But there's Cad Bane's up on that site now. Cad Bane's, the bee's knees these days. So a lot of the stuff that's gone to waitlist is still turning up in these buy sell trade groups or adverts or eBay or whatever.
I've seen quite a few Cad Bane's for sale last couple of weeks. Yeah. I think it's that sort of figure. I mean, it looks great, and you've got it showing you love it. I think a lot of people have probably ordered it, on a whim, and then they've decided, I couldn't really have afforded that, or it doesn't fit in, or so there's quite a few for sale. So as you say, you can pick them up.
If they ordered it because of the hype of, it's pretty much the hype of the figure, because I feel like a lot of people didn't watch Clone Wars and Rebels, so they don't even care for the character that much.
Yeah, exactly.
Funny, we've had this discussion before, Eddie. Like, I am only watching Clone Wars because that one episode where Ahsoka turned up in The Mandalorian was so well done. It made me want to know more and do my homework about the character. And I'm loving the Cad Bane episodes. But I bought that figure on the strength of that gem of a scene in the Book of Boba Fett. And I know that you don't like it at all, but I loved that. It just, it drew me in. And I was like, this is fucking, maybe because it stood out so much because the rest of the show was very like.
And as you said, he's got a trench coat. Makes him cool.
They nailed the Wild Wild West thing about him in the show. Like, when he first walks up and his attitude and everything, that they nailed. I just didn't like how quickly he's in and out of that universe. Like, he's done now, you know? It's too good of a character to get rid of that quickly.
No one's dead.
And the,
that's true, though.
And
I can give you a list of people who should be dead.
Yeah, that's true.
He should be dead.
He's had too many chances. True. But yeah, as you say, like, he's a cool Western. He's a cowboy, space cowboy, and that's part of the appeal. And you know, it's a good looking figure. You know, I wouldn't pick it up because I wouldn't know what to do with it. But you can definitely pick stuff up, and just being patient sometimes is the key. You know, you can get the figure you want, but just wait a little longer if you don't want to pay kind of the early prices.
Well, I had a similar thing about being patient when I was picking up the Sideshow when they were doing the X-Men figures. They had put out two versions of Cyclops. They had the one in the yellow suit with the leather jacket, but then they also had the blue suit from Astonishing X-Men, and that is my favorite Cyclops suit. But they did a very limited run on that, and I was put on the wait list. So one day I happened to be on eBay, and I found it for a pretty reasonable price. So I just picked it up there on the third party market, and it worked out just fine. So sometimes it pays just to be patient because I wanted that figure so bad. Yeah. Because I got the other one, but that just really wasn't the suit that I was really drawn to. But that blue one, it is that's a great figure. To me. Yeah, it really is.
Yeah, they made some really nice some of those X-Men figures. Yeah, they were good for Sideshow. I mean, they're normally more missed than hit, but they were some good
but
figures.
I have to admit that when it came to the X-Men line, they really have done well. I mean, I don't have a complaint. I don't really care as much for the way they do their heads. Their faces are not great. For example, I think this is Sideshow.
It's always been their weakness.
Yeah, I've got a Punisher, and I think that is the Sideshow version. And it is not the best looking head. However, when they put out Black Adam, I said, that is Black Adam's face. It fits perfectly. It's gruff. It's rough. It's got the kind of the receding, the widow's peak.
Oh, yeah.
And I said, that is my Black Adam face. Because I don't want Black Adam to be pretty. I want Black Adam to look evil. And that head sculpt looks kind of menacing. So Sideshow has done some good things. Faces aren't always their strong point, as you all have acknowledged, but sometimes they put out something great. Like, for example, I think my favorite X-Men figure next to that Cyclops is a Magneto.
Yeah, Magneto was
great.
Magneto
was great.
Yeah, definitely. So they can do it sometimes. So that was great. Thanks guys for sharing your experiences over the last 4 years. That was really, really cool. And then I suppose the next question is a shorter one, a bit self-indulgent for me and Ian, but just interested to know where you first came across OFAC and kind of what it means, what it's what it's meant to you in terms of like your collecting or your own YouTube careers, really.
Crime Line.
Come on, Eddie. I know that. Yeah, probably. Yeah. I know, Eddie. We were your first experience of collecting weekly. Is that right? Because you thought, who are these guys with the funny accents?
It was. I had seen Collecting Weekly on a YouTube video. I forgot. I think so. Back when scavengers were Assemble, and it was like everybody was on there before they broke off into Rogue One and 6 Scale Scavengers. So I heard about CW from them. So I'd watched a video of like the Tuesday show, CW, and then the next day I didn't realize it was a podcast just like they were. So when I found out it was a podcast, I put it on when I was working one day. And I was out to lunch driving, and I put on an episode, and all of a sudden it was British dudes, like with an accent. I was like, these are not the fucking guys I was watching. Like, what the hell is going on? But I kept listening to it, and I was like, oh, but these guys are funnier than the other guys. These guys are more my kind of guys because they're talking shit and they're funny, and like that's more my attitude, And so I fell in love with OFAC from that moment, and then I wanted to be on the show, and it went from there. Obviously, I joined CW after that, but OFAC has always been my favorite show on the whole on the network because you guys are just you're more my kind of humor and everything. So I always say I wish I was a Mexican born in London or something, because I think I was meant to be out there like with beer and cunt, dude. If I didn't realize that that's the motto out there, so I gotta get out. Even one of my favorite comedians is Ricky Gervais. So
yes, he's one of my heroes.
Yeah, I love all the shit he does. So. Yeah, I love you British guys. Overseas guys, definitely. I love the overseas.
You have you have. Well, I'm not so sure about the Irish. But, you definitely.
What was that?
You nothing.
Did he call me British? Did he?
I love. No, I said no, I didn't. No, I didn't. No, I said. Not to. Yeah, so we don't talk about the Irish. The UK. But not part of the UK, so unfortunately. No, it's cool, Addy. I think you definitely share our sense of humour. So appreciate all your love for the show.
Yeah, definitely.
Sorry, Shane, I wasn't. We love you, really.
I know. I'm taking the piss.
I think
I know.
Yeah. I came across you on the Ben Thomas show, and that's when I think that's when I first met you, Pete. And
that's right, yeah.
On the show, you said, "Well, listen, I'd love to have you on OFAC." I had never really heard of you guys before, so I was like, "Hey, let me check this out." And I was like, "Wow, this is kind of fun." And then of course, when I got to stream with y'all 2 weeks ago, I just had the time of my life. I said, "This is just so much fun. I'm just having a good time." I was able to let my hair out. I was able to take my classy Thomas persona and sometimes mold it so maybe it wasn't as classy, but it was still me. But I mean, I was able to just let my hair down with you guys and
spread your wings,
talk and just have fun. Yeah, so I have really enjoyed you, and you do have a really, really unique, fun discussion type of show, and I like that because I enjoy most of the collecting shows, but I find a lot of them very redundant. Sometimes I don't want to. I don't always want to talk about the new Hot Toys release and see it on every single show. Sometimes I want to talk about other things and bring up other things involved in collecting, and so I feel like I get that from you guys. I enjoy doing the same thing with Zach and them. Ben, of course, when he does his, I mean, talk about, would you rather die by jumping off a cliff, swim? I mean, I'm like,
oh God,
I love it.
Yeah.
This is great.
Yeah.
So I just enjoy interacting with people and just seeing where they come from, and I also enjoy meeting different people from different places. I mean, sometimes
overseas.
Overseas, we
people,
get very isolated to some degree. I think that Americans, and this is no, so if there's any conservatives out there trying to police my words, I'm not saying that I don't love America, but sometimes Americans can be a little bit monolithic and a little self-centered.
Mm-hmm.
He's just been cancelled.
Where's he gone? How do you get cancelled for talking shit about America?
You just got cancelled.
They canceled me already.
Someone
but
there are other Thomas.
there are other people in the world who live in other places and have different lives, and let's learn about each other. This is a big world out there, and I don't presume to know that I have all the answers to everything. I have answers to things I've done in my life. But I love hearing about how other people handle things. For example, I mean, you guys are very helpful last week about telling me about the printing, and then even Zach and Dean did the same thing last night, because I've just been struggling with getting started, and they said, "Look, just pick something easy and fun and try it." And you might make a mistake. That's all right. Try it again. And so it's kind of things like that are easing my anxiety about trying things that I'm unfamiliar with, that I have a desire to do. So this has been very fun for me, but just being able to lean on your expertise, and hopefully somebody will also be able to, if they have things that they want to know that I do well, lean on me for my expertise and let me share what I know. So it's a give and take type of thing. But this is fun. I love OFAC.
Thanks. We love having you on here, Thomas. Yeah, it's great. And let's hear from our Ireland guest.
All right, 33 and a third. There, I've done it. I reached out to when I started. I was been following a lot of channels that I respect and like and get some quality from, like, and Collecting Weekly was one of them. So I'd noticed Zach and followed my Instagram or something like that, and I messaged him that I had a channel and stuff like that, and said that I followed Collecting Weekly, and he subbed, and I just kind of said, like, what advice would you have about, say, someone starting off doing content creation, YouTuber channel? And he just gave me some really good advice. Like, it was really simple. It was basically like, be consistent. Don't burn yourself out. Have decent quality, and networking helps. Like, you know what I mean. And from there, like, got to, I suppose, collaborate and guest on people's channel and have people on my channel, and just meet like-minded people who are into the hobby and just have the chats, like. And then he put me in contact. He goes, if you're over in Ireland, he actually said Ireland, not overseas. And he said, if you're in Ireland, you should contact the guys from OFAC. They're over there in the UK. And then I just chatted to you, and I was he said I could come on the show, and it was just a lot of fun. Like, I like straight talkers. Like, I just like when people don't sugarcoat it, like, and like if Ian turned around there, or anyone in the panel, or Pete, or kind of said, The Dark Knight is shit, I'd be like, all right, that's what you think. It was just, I'd be kind of bulletproof like that, as in, like, that's what you think. I'm not going to get upset about it, but not everyone can kind of handle that bluntness, and I can, and I enjoy it because it's just someone's opinion, and I like the way you're unapologetic about it. Like, I like, even earlier on, perfect. I've got the Doc Ock coming. Ian did not hold back, and I wouldn't expect him to hold back. That's the way it's supposed to be. No. Like, because it's just the end of the day. Yeah. I like a toy that he doesn't like, or whatever. You know what I mean? That's what I like. I like you're blunt. I'm blunt. That's probably why I like Eddie. As well. Like, Eddie's blunt as well. Like, I don't think there's anything wrong with being blunt, like, because we're not saying anything rude, like, you know, but it's just, I like it, I don't like it, I think it's good, I think it's bad. You know, I appreciate that in a person. Like, give it to me straight.
I met Shane on OFAC too, actually. My first stream was with Shane on OFAC.
Yeah, I remember that.
You guys had him on one day when I joined. And I didn't know about Shane before. I didn't know about his channel, and it was the same way. I was like, "This dude's funny as hell."
Yeah. Thank you.
Appreciate care what he says.
Couldn't understand the word I was saying. I had to slow everything down.
Shane, I noticed that you said I noticed, Shane, that you said you liked everybody here, but you didn't mention me.
That goes without saying. That goes without saying. Come on, please.
Yeah. You're not blunt. You're smooth and classy.
You're a gentleman. That's what you are, like, you know. So, yeah. We must get you on an episode.
It's great having you on.
If you're up for it.
Yeah, I got to do that the next time. Now that I have you can contact you in Messenger, it'll be a lot easier for me.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, we'll get that started. Yeah, because I had Feezy on. I have to get you on as well. Eddie, have we done an episode? I don't think we have we?
I don't think so.
No, so yeah, if you want to come on,
yeah, for sure, dude.
It'll be good.
But
yeah, Shane,
I was
going
to say too.
Kind of... Go on, Eddie.
Real quick, as long as we're praising OFAC, because you're not gonna get this much, so you might as well get it on your 100th episode.
It's episode 100.
We'll wait another 100 episodes before you guys get any more compliments. But
of course,
the third party stuff really drew me to your channel too, because like when I was listening to Zach and Dean, I didn't realize there were rules to what they could fucking talk about. So I was like, how come you guys aren't covering like this figure and that figure? And they're like, we kind of
there's rules.
Ian and Pete, there's a shit ton of rules.
We've never.
Once you get here, you realize there's a lot of fucking. You don't do that, but So I was drawn to OFAC because you guys talked about third party stuff, which I had never. I think at the time I only knew about Hot Toys, so when I started finding out about third party stuff and because all the niche shit is what I like, I was like, you mean I could get a Jack Dawson from Titanic, or I could get a fucking like random shit.
I'm sure
so
we said that was shit, but you know.
I got it anyway, man.
Thanks to us, Eddie's got the full range of Dawson's Creek figures as well.
Ian,
one of them comes with a little ladder as well.
There's always been rules. We've always ignored them, and it got to the point where Zach went, "Do you know what? You're doing all right. We'll just let you get on with it, okay?"
That is true.
There's no rules for OFAC. There's no rules.
He kept going to us. Yeah, you know, you have to tone it down a bit sometimes. You know, it's a little bit near the mark. And then like, what was it? It was only like when did we talk to him last? It must have only been a couple of months. He went, after like the 40th episode, I just went, fuck it. He ain't gonna listen.
They keep putting a show out. We'll just let them go roll with it, you know.
Yeah.
So
they're consistent. They turn up. It's fine. Yeah.
No, Shane, I all praise to you and what you've done with your channel and everything. It's just really embarrassing that you're now, you've become far more professional and prolific, more prolific than me and Ian, and it's, you put us to shame, mate. But we always, like me and Ian have always said that we did this because we didn't have like people in our own lives that we could chat about in this hobby, and we just wanted
very sad, lonely men.
Yeah, exactly. We just wanted to have this kind of show where we
I don't know why.
About stuff and,
you guys got great personalities and you're great to look at too. So I can't imagine why.
Oh man!
Wow, look at that! He's giving us a sign and everything.
Yeah, and we always said that we'd keep, as long as we kept enjoying doing this and the hobby, then we'd keep doing it. And if we ever got bored of it one day, we'd just stop. But I think, although like we've had collections have changed, and I know Ian's kind of very much gone into the Warhammer, although I'm kind of moving down that road because my son's into it and everything as well. Yeah, definitely, mate, definitely. You are dragging me down. It's still good fun and to meet guys like yourselves, and to have people in the States, in Canada, Ireland, and obviously fantastic to meet Ian and Shane in person at Star Wars Celebration this year was fantastic. It's embarrassing that Ian and I hadn't met in person before that point. but hopefully we might make it a double this year if we can get up to see Raina in November.
Yes.
Up in London, so that'll be good. But yeah, no, it's I think like the community, the Collecting Weekly, you know, and I very much see, you know, Shane, you're always very welcoming, like to have us on your show and everything, and I very much feel like we've got like a good partnership there, and a couple of times when like Ian's not been able to make a show, you've stepped in, you know, and filled in and stuff like that. So that's
I was
been
given
fantastic.
strict directions. The directions were, I have to say the word cunt 52 times per episode.
You do. People will miss it if it's not heard. But yeah. Anything to say, Ian?
Yeah, you're all a bunch of cunts.
Yeah.
Nah, it's been great. You know, this has been great. It's a bit of fun. I quite like it. All the time it's fun, I'll carry on. When it feels like hard work, that's when I kind of pack it in. But no, it's been good. And like I say, we've made lots of really good mates out of it. So it's definitely been a highlight. But
and I will promise that I will do my best to keep it classy, and I'll say vagina.
That's almost more offensive.
Love it.
I like it. Well played.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? Yeah,
well played,
we like it. We like
clips was still a thing. That would be a clip. That would have been a clip.
Do you know what the best bit about clips was? It very much relied on the different hosts texting their stuff in, and I think I could only ever be asked doing it like once. So it was like hundreds of clips of all the other shows.
Yeah, there was.
And one of ours,
was
which
nothing.
was like the bowling figure, Rocky Go's bowling figure, and that was it. And other than that, it was
Clips.
like, I can't be bothered.
Clips is Zach's project for his new flavor of the week. Whoever is running clips, that's who Zach likes currently that month. So I'm surprised Ben and Mark haven't got clips.
There's a reason why I've never done it.
Oh, that one on there. What was that?
Because when I started doing it, I started putting you guys on there because I thought this is the funniest fucking show. Why is there no clips?
Because Ian wasn't sending them in.
Yeah, because
we had that cool one when there was that
any effort from me tends not to happen.
That one when there was that fat guy from Birmingham or Liverpool, whatever, and he got into that phone shop.
Oh yeah.
Like, yeah.
A bunch of fucking he was going calling them cunts and everything.
That
made clips, I think.
That did make clips
because that was funny. But yeah, that's the only one I can remember.
Fuck. Now I want to, because his quote, whatever he said, was quotable.
Like a bunch of fucking cunts or something, and then obviously we all thought of Ian when he said that, and then Ian accused me of saying that
because he was a fat ugly bloke.
Exactly.
And the word cunt. So
you accused me of calling you a fat ugly northerner or something, but
that was it. It worked.
Now, would this be a clip if I said a vagina and a bag of dicks? Because I know we did talk about a bag of dicks earlier. So I'm kind of bringing it full circle.
Yeah, I like that. I think that would work.
Hey, casual nerve problems.
Hey, what's up,
Peeps? Congrats on 100.
What's up, Steve?
Yeah. Thank you, Vintage Rebellion. Hi, Chris. Good to see you. So what you've been painting, Ian? Anyway, thanks all for it. That's a great discussion. Thanks everybody.
That's what I like about Pete. Everything's falling to shit, and he's like, "We're just going to carry on, plow on through."
We have to.
After vaginas and bag of dicks, I get to talk about miniatures. Such a varied
we have to finish
topic
this
we
episode.
have. I want to go to bed soon. I've got to be up early. Right. So mini mayhem. This is the Warhammer bits we do. So very quickly, 2 interceptors, assault ones, and a drop pod. And the drop pod is flipping everyone off because I got that off my mate and was missing all the innards. So I 3D printed a little middle finger, spray painted it bright gold. So then when you drop it in a game and you open it up, it's a nice little surprise for whoever you're playing.
Love it.
and I quite like it. But yeah, these have been quite fun to paint, and I've got a load more to do. But I've tried to be a little bit cleaner with these ones. But yeah, so I've got a load of other stuff behind me that you can't see because my internet's fucked to paint. But yeah, these have been quite fun. These have been fun to do, and I just finished the basics the other day.
I love your metalwork. That's so good. Looks so good looking.
So I can't take a great deal of credit for that because that is literally just a bit of Vallejo bronze and a Citadel Earthshade wash over the top, and then that gold is all of that. See, and then I think all I did was I went over a couple of bits with a bit of silver, and that was it. So it doesn't take that long to do.
Man,
that bit
still looks amazing. Love it.
Yeah,
and then I actually bothered to try the water transfers as well this time around.
Yeah,
the water transfers are pretty a pain in the arse, but I think they look pretty good. So I'm going to start using them.
And that's one good thing about my my Custodes armor. They don't have any they don't have anything like that, any insignias or anything. So that's an easy one for me not to have to do. I did it on some of the Space Marines, and they're a bit of a bug, especially trying to put them on these curved shoulder pads.
Yeah,
a flat.
What you're meant to do, because you can kind of see on the shoulder that I've not cut in between the little like fins, and that's annoying. Yeah, because you can see like that bullshit line. But once no one holds it that close to their face. You can't tell there.
No.
When you're looking at it normally. But yeah, I've got a lot.
And that's fucking tiny. They're like, I mean, these transfers are absolutely minuscule. It's.
But once you got on a pair of tweezers, they're not too bad.
No. But so I'm quite grateful that I don't have to put any on mine. So that'll make that a bit easier.
Yeah, I've only just decided I'm going to start doing them, but I wish I hadn't. Yeah, next time I'll have a load of other stuff, but I'm hoping I can get a lot of the Space Marines done, then do a lot of the Tyranids, and maybe some Orcs. But yeah, I'm really enjoying the 40k stuff at the moment. But I've got a load of stuff that people have sent me 6 scale stuff, so I need to do some of that. So I might have to take a break from this and then do the 6 scale.
Yeah,
and then jump back into these. Yeah. Well, yeah. Plus, I need to keep my hand in because I've gone balls deep into Warhammer lately. So.
Right. Yeah. Film and TV. Ian mentioned One Piece, and I must say, I was very skeptical, but I've watched 2 episodes and I'm loving it. So
yeah, me too.
Yay!
Yeah,
me too.
Yay!
I saw the figures and was like, "What the fuck is this?"
Yeah.
I think I'm on the 5th episode.
Yeah.
Really like it.
Yeah, it's great.
Really
really
like
good fun, isn't it?
It's good to watch with your kid too. Like, it's a good family show to watch.
Yeah, definitely. So we were all converted, I think, Thomas. So you're happy.
I'm very happy
that we've joined. I mean, I'm not going to go back and watch the cartoon. Don't get me wrong.
Oh yeah,
I've enjoyed.
I was tempted.
Yeah, and
I'll definitely at some point.
Were you?
You'll be watching for a long time.
Balls deep in that. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
And I think it's really good. I was drawn in by the weird, like the guy with the like the swordfish nose and the big creature and stuff like that. But yeah, the characters are quite endearing, really. And the redhead, she's not bad.
Yeah, that's true.
So that helped. Yeah. And the clown, he's bonkers. I love him.
Dude, the clown is he looks good too.
Yeah.
He would look. Yeah, he would be a good looking figure.
Yeah, definitely. So it's good. It's very good. You watched any, Shane?
No, I haven't watched any yet. But I've heard nothing but good things about it. But I haven't watched any. Nothing about it. Yeah, I think I will.
Yeah.
Yeah, Netflix finally got it right.
Yeah, they've been struggling a bit with their animated live adaptations, but this one.
Yeah.
But I think I haven't really got a frame of reference. I was aware of it, but I'd never watched it.
No, I mean,
so.
Yeah.
That was the draw for it. The non-frame. I figured if anime fans didn't like it, I would still like it because I didn't have any stigmatism towards it or whatever.
Yeah, you just based it, like judge it on its own merits. But yeah, I think they've done a good job. It's good fun. You know, it
has a lot of. Well, it has. I was kind of surprised to see his grandfather. I forget. He's the vice admiral. That's a good actor. He's from. Yeah, I've seen him in some other things. You know.
Yeah.
So I was surprised to see him in there.
There's quite a few actors that pop up in it that I kind of go, "What the fuck are you doing in this?" Like,
yeah.
Yeah,
but yeah,
that's cool. So yeah, give it a go if you haven't watched it. I think it's done a good job. I haven't seen the Ahsoka this week's one yet, so we won't talk about that.
No. Really good. Shame she dies, but yeah, really good.
Oh
yeah, well you know,
hate to see.
Yeah.
It's Star Wars. No one
don't
dies.
believe a word he says. Yeah.
It's great that Grogu's back though.
Yeah.
Shame
about the terrible wasting disease, but I'm sure he's alive. Yeah. But yeah.
Right. So that's kind of the end of the show for content, and we'll just get into the important housekeeping. So I'd love again, like, thanks everyone for tuning in to the episode 100. Thanks to the panel. It's been fantastic. I really enjoyed it. I was looking forward to the show, and it's definitely met my expectations. So yeah, it's been great fun. So just shout out to our fantastic Patreonies that help keep the lights on. We've got Ian CB, Rennie Mendes, Eric Mariscal, Quinn Aguirre, King Louis, Mark Pearson, Paul Schreiber, Equan, Chris Van Serena, Ben Thomas, Chris Leddy, David Jones, Sam Gist, Dominator, Joel Brader, Thomas Clark, Eric Switzer,
That's
Six
me.
Guns, Figs, Badfish. Yay! Toy Cartel. And you've come on so far since the days of just being a Patreon. You're now a member of the family. Danny Lee, Dini Martin, Stephen Crett, Big Fern, Susan Mariquin, Mark Phillips, Lisa Martin Bramonsky, Rick De Gregorio, Ricardo Valdez, Jose CZ, Owen Asusina, Luscious Rayner, Alib Morgan, Tukathy Wah, Derek Bezazinski, Aris Portillo, Alvin J, Jazz Carroll, Joe Ridley, Pablo Mazo, D-Rock, Matt Clevenger, Seth Tucker, CC3PO, Scott Smith, Don Watton, Stephen Purchase, Sean Yahtzee, Scott Bradley, Stephen Rhea Stanley, Eddie Manzanares, Louis Bennett, Chip Perrin, Jimmy Hernandez, Gigi the Judgmental, and Brenton Palmer. Thank you all so very much for your continued support. If you're not already a Patreon, you can join on the hot seat for $5 a month. Gets you digital benefits, the digital copies of the stickers, and access to Ox After Dark replay and the Patreon chat, and obviously a weekly shout out on the show. If you Sweet Angel $7.50 a month gets you a physical sticker sent straight to your door, as well as the benefits of the previous tier. Certified Crispy gets you a certified Crispy certificate on a first pledge signed by Dean and Zach, and stickers, what have you. And then the Water Guy, $25 a month, gets you the Water Guy exclusive POG deluxe set on first pledge. Doubles all the stickers we send, so you can gift some to your friends and family, and all the benefits of the previous tiers. So we're now into September. I understand that, but Zach asked that we could have the small talk new logo sticker still shown tonight, so I think you can still get that if you're a Patreon. For September, we currently have the 3,000 subscribers sticker. Again, brilliant, great job collecting weekly, and a to be announced for the other sticker. I think we're just playing around with some ideas, seeing what we're going to have. So hopefully on next week's shows we'll know what the other sticker is for September, October. You can also become a YouTube channel member, help support the channel. So we've got Absolute Irwin, Alvin J, Andre, Andrew Sob, Andrew Gibo, Benjamin Hanson, Big Old Fern, Blurred Dad Life, Bob Dylan, CC3PO, Chris V, Cram, CT603, DJ, Dominator, Dante's Boneyard, Eclectic Collector, Equan, Fat Batman, Gare Bear, Gotham Cenobites, Jake, Just Another Friday Night, Justin Sports Card, KJ Smith, LV Avengers 702, Mark Pearson, The Beautiful Money Mendez, Mr. Mom Collectibles Night, OG Fan, FG Rick, the awesome Shane from 16 Figure Focus, Paul Schreiber, Philip the Fool, S-Beam, Sam Gist, Slifer, SpongeBob Squareballs. There you are again, Thomas.
That's me.
Love you. Yeah, it is you.
ASMR.
Sunnyvale Russ, The Ben Thomas Show. Love you, Ben. See you Sunday. Toy Cartel and Zeke. If you're a Patreon, you can become a YouTube channel member for 99 cents a month. Gets you loyalty badges, emojis, and member shout-outs. Or if not, you can become a member of the Peanut Gallery for $2.99 a month. Gets you perks on the previous level and member shout-outs on the show. We still do have TeePublic, so if you want to wear some merch from the many collecting weekly shows, go and have a look what we've got on there. Treat yourself to a new t-shirt. And here we are. Take it away, Ian. This is the network.
This is the fortnightly slagging off of the network. So, we have Collecting Weekly live unboxing, where we unbox things live. I say we, I said people who care about that type of thing. I do not. So I don't really unbox anything because I can never wait.
No.
I don't have that level of patience to hold things off for a stream for other people's enjoyment. I will open it up for myself, naked, surrounded in puppies.
And you don't want to be.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. And you don't want to be doing it at 3 a.m. either. So.
No, fuck that. I don't even want to be doing this now, let alone at like 3 in the morning. Fuck that. No.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, there's a reason why I don't pop up on the other network streams. It's because I'm lazy and I don't want to. But anyway, they're all good shows. So you've got OFAC, which is us, the jewel in the crown, the reason we're all here, the glue that holds the network together, the consistency that is OFAC, that is us. We are here. Shalom. We have After Dark, which it can only legally be played once it's dark in at least 3 corners of the globe. It's a contractual thing Zach made with the devil. Don't know what happens. But that's how we get viewers. We've got Question of the Week. Oddly enough, that question changes every week. My one this week is why are we bothering? Why are we doing this? Collecting Weekly Live, which is live and weekly and involves collecting. See, clues in the title. Live and Let Dice, which I would say up until I started collecting Warhammer was all just a bunch of virgins playing with dice, but apparently I'm one of them now. We've got Ops PD, which is pretty much Zach pretending to be a policeman, massive truncheon, some kind of leather
assaulting
involved.
Yeah.
Pedestrians,
pulling people
stuff,
over, beating against the window, or beating them off, something
them
to
off.
Do with beating
them off. Yeah,
there's a masturbation joke there, is what I'm trying to get at. Small talk, which is the teeny tiny things that people like to collect.
Which doesn't talk about. Which doesn't cover wrestling figures at all, by the way.
Bastards!
Come on.
Well, that logo is completely misleading.
I could only mention that on this show because you guys won't give me shit for it. So
that is a valid point.
Yeah, but we do need to mention that. Please tune in live if you can, or watch it as soon as you can. Small Talk hit their 100th episode next week, so it's fantastic to do that kind of back to back with them. Well done, guys. We stole a march on you because you should have got there way before us, but you had a few hurdles to jump over the last year or so. So we kind of jumped ahead of you, but no, brilliant. I hope you have a great show next week, and I'll certainly be watching. Possibly not live, but again, 3 in the morning.
Should I give them more shit and say
love you
the show's
guys.
Got 100 episodes, but none of the panel members do.
It's fine. People tell me all about it, so I probably won't watch. And that's only because I stand by Eddie with the wrestling figures. That's Small Talk. Give them a go. They're reaching 100. They're not as good as us.
It's a valid point, Eddie.
And
to be honest, me and Ian haven't been on every single episode. I think I've missed maybe 1 or 2. So we haven't actually done 100 either. But
well, saying that, we've missed a few, but technically this is like 103 if you count all the bonus ones we've done. So
I suppose so. We have done some.
Pulled the wool over all your eyes. Yeah. But so fuck the lot of you. And then we've got. And then we've got Bricks and Brews, which is people getting drunk and sticking Lego bricks up their bum. I think Zach's up to 5, and I think Dean was about 10. But Dean was widthways. So
And he's got
Dean
a
wins.
bigger ass.
Is that why he was off the network for a few weeks? That was his
Oh
No,
my god!
There was a mix up between Lego and Duplo. So
Wow!
accidents were made. So yeah, that's us. That's the network. And if I haven't sold that to you, then well, I just don't know what you want from me. But yeah, that is us. That is everyone. The sordid affair. All of us. And I think that's
brilliant.
it, Pete.
Yeah, thanks for
We're done.
Yeah.
100.
Just thanks for joining us, everyone, for episode 100. Thanks to the fantastic, beautiful panel. Thank you, guys. And
Thanks for having us.
here's to the next 100. See you in 4 years.
Absolutely.
See you later.
Yeah. Cheers, all.
What a cunt.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh man.